fans to Humberstone Speedway for night number 1 of the Fall Classic, brought to you by Nitro 54 Variety, Burger Barn, Pinty's, Corpac Merchandising, GR EnviroRail, the Enviro Niagara Group, S&W Service Center, and Peters Excavating, all bringing you 2 nights of fantastic racing action. My name's Greg Kelman. With me in the tower, Adam Ross. We got Fran with us here tonight as well. Just joined us from across the border. And Clinton Jeffries down trackside tonight, as always. 5 divisions tonight, guys. Action-packed. You couldn't ask for much more.
Oh, it's going to be a wild night, Greg. And Fran, am I right? This is how I've always pronounced it in my head. Bushart?
Yes.
Fran Bushart. So, folks, for those of you tuning in, Fran is the one who corrects our pronunciations and fills in our rosters. He does all of that from Western New York, so we're thrilled that he could cross the border here tonight and be with us. And Fran, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We got a beautiful night for racing. The pits are full. We have tons and tons of race cars over off the back stretch.
Yeah, you couldn't wedge too many more haulers over there off the back straightaway, Greg. I'm trying to think, who was the last one to pull in and where did they park them? Because they are on top of each other back there. And it kind of looks like a scene out of Star Wars. They should do those fluorescent lights in different colors and we can make lightsaber sounds.
Yeah, it's quite the scene over there across the track. All sorts of haulers. And with 5 divisions on the card tonight, of course, we got the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars, the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's, 358 Modified Sportsman, and Street Stock. Street Stock's on the card, and as always, I hear Clinton Jeffrey. He's with us here tonight as well.
Hey guys, we'll jump right in with a track report to kick the night off. As you can see, things have gone pretty nice over here. It is very smooth. The track crew have done an immaculate job. It is tacky from top right to the bottom here. Not much of a cushion here. As we walk up to the top, you can see still lots of tack all the way up to the top here. We've got a little bit of a light crumble here that'll get packed in, but by the end of the day, I think this is going to blow up to a slight cushion here, but lots of tackiness, still lots of bite left in it. They're working this one, guys. It's going to be a good night here tonight at Humberstone.
You know, when Clinton talks about crumble, I think of Apple Crisp. Like, am I the only one?
It's that time of year, too.
Coffee Crisp?
No, Apple Crisp.
Apple Crisp.
Coffee Crisp is kind of an any time thing as well. So is Apple Crisp. What is a bad time of year to eat Apple Crisp?
Well, there's no bad time of year, but this is traditionally the time when you start having those baked goods.
You know, I thought you couldn't get any more annoying, but you made me think of pumpkin spice, and you became more annoying.
I was trying to not say pumpkin spice because, I don't know about you, but I got tired of hearing about it constantly.
You just went there. I'm like, wow, Greg just put another notch on my man, he gets annoying belt.
I'll throw this
without even saying it.
If you haven't tried peach crisp, it's excellent. It's different than peach cobbler. Apple crisp with peaches. It's phenomenal.
That does sound pretty good. You know, they've done 2-seater sprint car rides, things of that nature. I want to drive that tractor. I would pay to drive that tractor.
That's Kenny Rustin. He's been a tradition going back to the 1990s here at the Speedway, back from the Gasport days. And his son, Jimmy Rustin, used to be one of the former dirt modified rookies of the year on the dirt circuit.
He's got those monster truck tires. Just makes that tractor look super cool. Like, you're not taking that thing through the drive-through.
Fran's going to make us seem so smart tonight. Like, he's just going to inject wisdom into the show. It may freeze us in our tracks, to tell you the truth.
EnviroRail Street Stock, heat number 1, out of Port Colborne, the 01. That's Barry Beck, the Bearcat. Drives car number 01 Junior. On the outside, the 1J2, that's the Sewell's Automotive ride of the Fonz, Jason Fontaine from right here in Port Colborne. Row 2, Kenny Sargent, Kenny out of Hamilton. The Parlor Cohen and Cafe number 25. On the outside, the 11R, that is Bryce Richardson, the Affordable Towing and Recovery ride from Port Colborne. Number 53 starting 5th, that's Logan Schwedick out of Jerseyville. The Advantage Electric starting 5th. On the outside, the 21, that's Spencer Smolders in the J&J Excavating ride out of Merlin. And last but not least, the 44, that'll be Robbie General out of Hagersville.
I'm watching Fran read the lineup, and he's got the full roster in front of him, and he's announcing cars that aren't yet on the track. I'm thinking, how does he know who's where? But he's got a little list off to the corner of the page with the race order. I thought it was some kind of magic.
Also 65, Scotty Dunn, former pure stock racer here, formerly out of Shirkston. Good to see him back at this Speedway.
Yeah, curious to see. We've got cars coming out tonight that we haven't seen an awful lot of. There's one sprint car we haven't seen in ages, so fantastic to see people have come out to play. The white flag is being displayed. We're at least one car short. Logan Schwedick not making the call for this qualifying heat. They cruise down the back straightaway. Barry Beck Jr. in that 0-1. Going to bring this show to life with Kenny Sargent right behind. Ken Sargent with a win here at Humberstone Speedway in 2021. He was an excited winner too, Greg. Let's go racing.
Off they go to the first green flag of the Fall Classic here at Humberstone Speedway. As we see Blake Bomberry Sr. making the late addition to the heat lineup here tonight as they go 3 wide into corner number 3. Beck, your leader, rolling through 4.
Beck slides up towards the outside of the racetrack. He'll continue to lead the way. Fontaine and Sargent rubbing fenders down into turn number 1.
And Sargent the second spot. Now he'll put the charge on Barry Beck as they go down the back stretch. Fontaine back there in third. General right now holding down the 4th spot.
They're going to go 3 wide through turn number 4. Fontaine pokes to the inside. He's not going to have the momentum. Barry Beck bounced off the right rear corner of Kenny Sargent. Now he's going to look to the inside.
Here they go, 3 wide at it again down the back stretch. They've switched lanes, but they're still going at it. Fontaine now on the bottom, Sargent on the outside. Barry Beck backed out in corner number 3. This time of the stripe, Fontaine will lead the lap.
Fontaine noses ahead, the 25 of Kenny Sargent. Down the back straightaway, nose to tail run the top 3, down into 3 and 4. Barry Beck using that cushion. He's working the higher side of the racetrack through 3 and 4, but he loses a bit of ground.
Across the stripe another time. Fontaine out in front over Sargent, and it's Beck. 1, 2, and 3. Here's the charge by Sargent. Back down to the inside of Fontaine. Remember, last time here on G-Force, it was halfway down that backstretch that Jason Fontaine had that hard collision with the Jersey barrier. He's looking for some redemption here tonight on G-Force TV as he leads the lap with 3 to go. Make that 2 to go, I believe.
Battle for the lead continues. Kenny Sargent applying the pressure. He doesn't charge the corner quite as hard as Fontaine, as we've got 2 laps to go, but he comes off the corner like a bat out of hell in that black number 25. Barry Beck Jr. as well, not letting these 2 get away from him.
Here they go back through corner number 3. This time the white flag with Jason Fontaine out in front, Sargent in tow. Barry Beck giving him all that he can handle in that 0-1 junior as they go down into the first corner another time.
Again, nose to tail down the back straightaway. It seems Kenny Sargent can get his nose to the inside of Fontaine, and Barry Beck can get to the inside of Kenny Sargent, but that's as much as they can do as the checkered flag flies. It's Fontaine, Sargent, Barry Beck. Scott Dunn going to finish 4th. Rob General rounds out the top 5.
Jason Fontaine, longtime second-generation driver. His dad knew. He used to drive the Sportsman division going back into the 70s. Same with Barry Beck. Dad, Barry Beck Sr., longtime racer. Heat number 2 for the GR Enviro Rails Street Stocks. On the pole, the 16 out of Blenheim. That'll be Scott Suk on the outside. The 7X, that will be Kevin Kokrick in the Lucas Lift Trucks ride out of Font Hill. Well, I think I'll wait a minute, wait till the cars come out.
Yeah, that'll definitely make it easier to see who's making the call, see who's on the track.
Well, they get the call now to make it out onto the racetrack. It has got to be a science to get these cars moved around to the pit area tonight because it is jam-packed over there, as we mentioned off the top of the show. And here comes heat race number 2 onto the backstretch.
And once again, the 16, Scott Suk out of Blenheim, first-time starter here at the Speedway. In the 7X, that's Kevin Kokrick, Kevin out of Font Hill. Row number 2 in the DNS Automotive 28, that's the new groom. Congratulations to Jimmy Lappin. Got married to Karen this past week. And he's out of... driving car number 24. That will be Blake Bomberry, Sr. in the Nitro 54 ride, and he's out of Hagersville. In the 76, making his first start here, that'll be Jeff Drummond out of Tilbury, the MD Auto Diesel ride, and on the outside, the 37X or 37J. That is the Wally Racing ride of Jeff Bean out of Dunville. 6 cars, and we are ready to go for heat number 2.
6 cars make the call down through 3 and 4 at a snail's pace. Koprick up on the outside of that front row.
And here we go. Kokrick gets a great start on Suk, who will drop through the field in that 16 as Jim Lampman gets by him. A little smoke out of the Jeff Bean 37 as he went down the front stretch as well. Kokrick out in front for Blake Bomberry Jr. Jim Lampman riding in third.
Everybody checks up, getting down into turn number 3. Again, Kokrick going into the turn a little bit slower, but he comes off with a lot of speed. Able to get on the throttle smoothly through the turn and exit well. That's sort of bottling up Bomberry in the 24, Lampman in the 28.
Another 3-car breakaway like we saw in that first qualifying heat. Here comes Blake Bomberry Jr. looking to the inside in that Nitro 54 variety Chevy Monte Carlo. Tucked right up in behind Kokrick and showed a little puff of smoke that time and went at him.
Doesn't seem to be slowing him down at all as Bomberry to the inside there, making that move. He draws towards the front of the Kokrick 7. He's going to try to slide up in front, but as he does, Jim Lampman has a look to the inside.
Down they go into corner number 1. Lampman to the inside of Kokrick. He'll take over the second spot. He'll try and chase down leader Blake Bomberry Jr. Still the 3-car breakaway, and coming up from the back, Jeff Drummond in that 76, keeping pace with the top 3.
I can't help but think of Mr. Drummond. Like, that's the right vintage car as well. For different strokes.
Yes.
Willis.
Yep. What you talking about?
Thank you.
Blake Bomberry Jr. out in front of Jim Lampman. Kevin Kokrick, the top 2, now breaking away from Kokrick across the line. Looking at 3 laps left to go in this one.
Look at the way Bomberry's driving the car into the corner. He's driving it in very straight and maintaining that control through the turn. Lampman, on the other hand, just slings it into the turn sideways and rides that drift all the way off the exit of the corner. But they're running virtually the same speed.
Couple of laps left to go. Still seeing a little bit of smoke out of the back of the Nitro 54 variety number 24, Blake Bomberry Jr., but he's holding a pretty wheel right now out in front, going through turn 3 and 4, coming to the white flag.
Got one off the back straightaway heading to the pits. That's Scott Suk in the 16 after starting on the pole. One more lap to go. Bomberry leads them down into 1 and 2. Jim Lampman shadowing his every move.
Yeah, Lampman's on it hard right now, trying to do what he can to get by Blake Bomberry Jr. Closes the gap a little bit down in corner number 3. Checkers out. Lampman will run out of time. Makes a good charge. Bomberry gets the win over Lampman. Kokrick third, then it's Drummond and Bean completing the top 5.
Mr. Drummond.
Mr. Drummond. And Mr. Bean?
Yes! Nailed it.
TV trivia.
What is the best Mr. Bean skit ever?
The turkey one is... no, my favorite one is where he was painting his house, and he tapes everything down that he doesn't want to get paint on. And he fills cans of paint with dynamite, lights the dynamite, but then he can't get out of the door and it explodes, and all you see is a painted room with his silhouette on the wall. That's my favorite one.
I like the turkey one.
The turkey one's good too.
Take it away, Fran.
Heat number 3 on the pole is the Welland Toyota 05. That's the crazy alien, Pete Reed out of Welland. On the outside, that'll be the 21. That's Spencer Smolders, J&J Excavating right out of Merlin. Row number 2. It'll be the Beamsville Fish and Chips ride. That is Teeple from Thorold. On the outside, it's Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey, Dave out of Hagersville in the Jibs Action Sports ride. Starting 5th, the Plazic Auto Recyclers 441. That's Adam Plazic out of Caister Center. In the Shed in the Day, number 13, that's Casey Huffman. Casey is out of Brantford. And Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne in the Burger Barn ride, number 55. And Mikey's out of Caledonia. Whoop.
We're all good.
We lost Fran's mute switch. There we go.
Lost my marbles.
Pete Reed leads it down the back stretch into corner number 3. As they work it off the corner to complete lap number 1. Spencer Smolders has had some good solid runs as of late in that 21. He's holding down that second spot right now.
Dave Bailey back in that 4th position. He and Mike Thorne looking to tear up through this field. Go Fast Tiba was in speed as well in the 11. This is a fast racetrack right now, though. Pete Reed out in front. He's had a couple of wins this season. Smolders in the 21. He's been a quick car as well.
Here comes Bailey to the inside of Adam Plasic. He'll dispose of him down in corner number 2 and head down the backstretch towards the top 2. Meanwhile, it's side by side with Mike Thorne, Mikey Bobby there, and Go Fast Teeple in the 11.
Couple of pairs out in front. Pete Reed and Smolders with a good advantage over Dave Bailey in the 3rd spot. He's gotten around Plasic, but he's got a long way to go to catch up to our race leader, Pete Reed, as we get to the halfway point of this race. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go.
Earlier in the month, actually in September it was. September 10th, I believe, was the night we were here, or 17th maybe. Pete Reed picked up the win that night here on G-Force TV. He's looking to do the double here as he leads it through 3 and 4. Lost track of my weeks, Adam. We've just been at a racetrack every weekend. I can't remember where we've been.
It's still July, isn't it?
Feels like it.
Pete Reed pulling away from Smolders out in front, down the back straightaway about 10 car lengths. Dave Bailey really hasn't closed in much of that gap, so the top 3 all running pretty quick. The best battle on the track. Plasic in the 4th spot, but Mike Thorne mounting the pressure. Thorne has a look to the inside, but right now, this track is real heavy, real fast.
Reed setting sail off of corner number 4 on the white flag. One more trip around for the crazy alien over Smolders and Bailey side by side. Mikey Bobby and Adam Plasic, they go door to door down the front stretch.
Close quarters racing. I don't think they touched, but there wasn't much more than an inch between those cars side to side, Greg.
Final time off of corner 4. Pete Reed picks up the win over Spencer Smolders, and it's Dave Bailey. Mike Thorne opened the door in corner 4, almost let Plasic in, but Thorne holds it off Plasic at the line over Go Fast Teeple and Casey Huffman in the 13.
Pete Reed, the only repeat winner we've had in the street stocks all season this year. He's had one of his best seasons in a long time. It's a very competitive division here at the Speedway. Always loved the street stock class. They always put on a tremendous show here at the Speedway.
Well, which is it, Fran? Is it Pete or repeat?
Yes.
The first repeat. See what I see?
Repeat Reed.
That's good. Is that your dad joke?
That's one of them.
Should call it you repeat the way it smells in the tower some nights. All right, here we go. First qualifying heat of the night for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Starting on the pole for this one, out of 6 nations in the True North Bet Nitro 54 variety number 38, it's Derek Miller lining up on his outside from Oshwegan, the original Traders Energy, Bickles Hardware and Supply. 77E, it's Ashton Van Every. Going from the 3rd spot in car number 3S out of Mosley, Ontario, the Car Star Brantford Bobcat of Brantford 3S, Austin Rose. And to his outside from Brantford in the National Building Group, JDL Distributing 49L, Lucas Smith. Starting in 5th from Oshwegan, the Nitro 54 variety, MK8 of Matt Hill. And lining up 6th from Bowmanville, the 31, that'll be Dale Curran. Going 7th from Rockwood, Ontario, on the Beaver Builders, Neely Auto 94, Ryan Fraser. And going from 8th out of Thamesford, in the Oakwood Transport Fast Track Performance, number 7, Eric Gledhill. Going 9th from Oshwegan, the Hills Tire, Sioux Sales 99, Josh Hill.
You know, Greg, Derek Miller's come a long way since 2019. Placed 5th at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway a few weeks back. You know, the big talk was some of the spectacular crashes, but a solid top 5 run there. Arguably his best season since getting into a sprint car a few years ago, and he's been doing his homework. A little bit of help with Kevin Lovey's at the GSR team, and some help from the Hills team, Brandon and Hodge over at Nitro 54 as well. So they've been kind of crossing party lines and helping out Derek Miller. And I've got to think this is a great opportunity for him to build some confidence, get out there, try to get out front, and even if he doesn't win this heat, maybe get a top 2 or 3 finish.
Current 31. They have not.
Well, no fire on that 31 machine, so that's going to be a long, slow push back to the pit area.
He was scheduled to start from the 6th position. Dale comes from Bowmanville, the other side of Toronto. Bit of a hike to get here on a Friday night for sure, so not the way they want to start out their weekend in that number 31.
The only bright side I can see to this, Greg, 2, 4, 6, 8, is that we're right on the cusp of not needing a B main. So every car will probably start tonight. So at least he'll get into the show. On most Action Sprint Tour shows, this would be a really troubling turn of events because he would have to start from the back of the B main, and that's a tough one to get through.
Yeah, I believe they've already said there will be no B main because there are 26 cars, 2 heats of 9, 1 of 8 here tonight.
Is it warm in here?
It is.
Fran, did you turn the heat up or the AC up?
I turned it off. Put it back on.
No, I'm on a weight loss program, Steve. But yeah, if you would turn the AC back on, it's fat guy in distress.
Sweaty Adam is not good Adam.
If I'm awake, I'm likely sweating, but at the moment, it's more so.
Ready to go with our first qualifying heat of the night for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Derek Miller will set the pace off of corner number 4 with Ashton Van Every on the outside.
Austin Rose looking to the inside to make it 3 wide. That's not going to work, but tough start for Derek Miller. Drops back to 3rd behind Van Every and Lucas Smith. Nice start for Van Every.
Yeah, Van Every's got the lead on lap number 1, and here comes Lucas Smith. Last time we saw him on G-Force, he went out of the park at Merrittville in corner number 1. Here he is running 2nd right now.
Trouble deeper in the field, I believe is that Matt Hill?
Yep. Matt taking some off-road excursions over there down in 1 and 2. He'll gather it back up, tags onto the back of the pack. Ashton Van Every out in front. 2 cars go off the banking at 2. It's Eric Gledhill 1, Derek Miller the other.
You could call this the Friday Night Thunder heat race. You got Derek Miller, Matthew Hill, Joshua Hill all out here in this same qualifier. The good news is they're having a great battle. The bad news is it's at the back.
Eric Gledhill makes up ground from the track position he lost there by going off track. He gets back by Austin Rose. 4 laps in, 4 to go, and Ashton Van Every opens up the door for Lucas Smith.
He kept it on the racetrack, which we've seen a couple of drivers come off the track in that very spot. You run out of banking, you lose a lot of track position, so Ashton Van Every keeps that 77 machine out in front of a very aggressive Lucas Smith.
And to corner number 3 they go. Now Lucas Smith takes a peek to the outside line. Off the corner, Van Every leads with 2 laps left to go. Lucas Smith is all over his tail tank. Now he'll take a look to the inside and slip by Van Every off of corner 2.
I'll tell you what, as the white flag is about to fly, that's still a huge confidence builder for Ashton Van Every, leading all those laps.
Looking very stout right now in that 77E machine, as it's Lucas Smith out in front over Van Every and Eric Gledhill coming down this time by. We will see the checkered flag for Lucas Smith. Van Every 2nd, then it's Gledhill, Rose, make that Ryan Fraser, Josh Hill, and Derek Miller. Matt Hill will complete the running order here in this first qualifying heat. What a turnaround for Lucas Smith. Last time we saw him, now we saw him at Merrittville. That was the 17th, I think, when we saw him, and he flipped out of the park at Merrittville. And I think that's where we had the conversation. He said that would do his year in. And you said, no, he'll be back for the next one. And
well, I'm going to go one step further. The next morning, Connor and I got up and said, let's go over to Flamborough Speedway. The Waterloo Kart Club is running. One of the first people we bump into is Lucas Smith, who said, yeah, I got my bell rung pretty good, but I'm in the points here, so I don't want to miss this. So not only was he not done for the year, less than 12 hours later, he was back at a racetrack behind the wheel. And even he says, you say things in the moment, you look at things, but race teams have a lot of resilience to them.
Clint?
Just want to mention that all qualifying heat races for the sprint cars this weekend are presented by Friday Night Thunder, the APTN television program documenting the stars and cars of Oshwegan Speedway, and they're following them out on the road here. So I want to thank the Friday Night Thunder crew for kicking in $100 to every heat winner here this weekend, guys.
So, of course, we're working tonight with Fran Bushart. And, Fran, you went to say something. Your microphone wasn't on.
I was just saying never say never. Oops.
leave that part on. No, I've got you on. We got you on.
Yeah, after incidents, they always say never, but usually back the next week.
You got it. Greg, let us know how they line up for heat race number 2.
Alan Downey will start from the pole. He's from Waterloo in the Velocity Mechanics ILA Sports number 19D. To his outside from Ancaster, the Hallett Home Improvement 51, Trevor Young. Going from third from Oshwegan, the Canada Fuels Nitro 54 Variety 9C of Brian Nanico. And going from fourth from Brampton, the Lifto Limited Toyota Industry Equipment 77mm, a 70mm of Dave McKnight. Starting fifth from Six Nations, the Stye Tree Service NRM Dynamics 20 of the Iceman, Johnny Miller. And going from the sixth spot from Freelton, the MS Road Solutions 12, DD Darren Dryden. Going from seventh out of Port Perry, the Town Line MFG Brass Inc. Bondsma Brothers Concrete Pumping 4B, that is Daryl Pelche. And starting at eighth from Rockwood, the Radio Shuttle Neely Auto 74, Rob Neely. And going from the tail in the ninth spot from Fonthill, the Glow and Go Tanning, Glenholm Motors, Seminuk SO08, Stephen Beckett.
Nicely done. Alan Downey has had a great season this year, comes second in points into tonight's event alongside Trevor Young. And I dare say Trevor Young has not had the results this season he would have liked, but he's got a good front row starting spot for heat race number 2.
Green flag in the air. Downey will lead them into the first corner with Trevor Young in tow. Hodge, make that, not Hodge.
Crow.
Well, he's got another nickname. He calls himself the Riddler in the group chat. It's throwing me off. But Brian Nanico rides in the third spot. There's nicknames all over the place.
He says a lot of things in the group. Oh, Darren Dryden caught a little bit of Dave McKnight there. Goes up the racetrack, able to carry on, but he's lost a lot of ground, and Dave McKnight going around, and he will lay that car over in turn number 3.
And that puts us under the red flag. A lazy rollover, but still upside down is Dave McKnight.
Insult to injury, the car lands upside down. Great response time by the safety crew. Clinton Jeffrey heading over there. I thought he had a bit of a moment there. He paused halfway across the guardrail. I thought he might have caught a stitch.
Adam, just want to make sure we're not falling in the mud like we have in the past here. As you see McKnight get dropped back on all fours here. The wings have taken a beating, but the rest of the car looks fairly okay. We'll see how Dave feels when he gets out. He's had a few of these this season, and since he started his sprint car career.
You tell me Ryan doesn't want to fall again tonight?
No, Ryan doesn't want to fall. That's why I stopped. I'm like, mud right there.
I was going to start calling them puddles. Oh, Ryan does such a fantastic job, but I'm sure he was happy to be at Delaware last weekend and
out of the mud.
Out of the mud.
Dave Franks calls him the big porcupine. I don't know where that came from,
wow.
But that's
okay.
From the front stretch speed shot, a good view. And Peltier did a nice job to not pile into that. Darren Dryden had a bit more time to react, and Dave McKnight going to get pushed away from the accident scene here and probably get rolled back to the pit area. Gives Clinton Jeffrey a thumbs up. That man has paid his dues.
He says, I'm good.
I had a good chance to talk with Dave prior to the racing, and going back to the old indoor midget races in Niagara Falls Convention Center. He said he had a ton of fun with that, but he said that the only other alternative would be to race down in Atlantic City, so he's enjoying it other than tonight racing with the sprints.
Yeah, he takes things as they come, Fran, that's for sure. He's been a great sport, a great role model, I would say, to people, and that's how I want to mature, is with lots of muscles and a great fitness program. In the meantime, I'm working on perfecting my before picture. Like, I'm not quite there yet.
I was going to say, you maturing is an oxymoron.
You're a moron.
But see, I just teed that one up.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I knocked it out of the park, but
no,
it was a pretty easy one.
You're on base.
I batted against the shift.
I've had a history in the past of announcer jinx, but I want to say a driver I've been impressed with, too, is the 08. I just went blank on his name.
Stephen
Beckett, going back to the old Mod Light division at Merrittville.
He has struggled this year, and I don't know if they're having engine problems in that 080. We've seen him in more B mains this season than I've ever remembered seeing him in. But yeah, he's a great driver to watch, fierce competitor. As I say that, he looks to be doing fairly well in this race, running in the 5th spot after starting all the way at the back. Another look from the speed cam of Dave McKnight, landing perfectly on his top wing.
Rob Neely was another one that competed in the old indoor midget series in
yeah, he did.
TQ midgets.
Yep, and did a lot of driving for Kenny Lorenz.
Yes, out of Lancaster.
Yep. Darren Dryden in the 12 Double D has come through TQ Midget Racing. He's driven a lot of different race cars. Brian Nanakoke in the 9C comes from Asphalt Pro 4 Modified Racing.
Adam, I want you to look at the Darren Dryden car when it comes around. He clipped the back end of McKnight, as you mentioned, in their call to race. Now, I wonder, is it towed out a little bit? And the right front looked like it was a little bit not perfect when he came by under speed. Hard to tell from where we are. Maybe you can see it from your perspective.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, almost as though the front axle is not straight in the car.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought he might have maybe bent a radius rod, pushed the axle back, or bent the axle up a little bit. It didn't look perfectly square when he came by, and we're trying to look at it here down the back straightaway. Got to wonder if it's out of kilter a little bit, towed out maybe, or if it's just how it should be.
That's possible. It's cattywampus. That damn cattywampus, Greg.
Okay, we've been using that too much. It's on to a new word.
Well, I think that's what made it funny, is because we went back to it like we've been there before.
Yeah. No, I think the moment's passed.
Oh. I'll sit down. I
just sounded like you there.
I wish you'd tell me how you really feel sometimes. You make me tired.
Why don't you try Doggy Wampus next time?
That was no better. I see what you tried to do.
I think it fits better. It's like when your dog's tail or back end's itchy and they drag. Never mind. Doggy Wampus. In the corner number 1 they go. Alan Downey, Trevor Young.
I think you call that a dog living its best life. Oh, what a champ. Steve Szabo for the win. Ice cold bottle of water. Trevor Young hanging in there in the 2nd spot, but how about Rob Neely? Give me some passing points. He started second last. Now he runs in the 2nd position in that 74 machine.
Halfway home in this one. 4 laps in, 4 to go. Trevor Young holding down the 3rd spot with Brian Nanakoke in tow. And here comes Stephen Beckett getting some horsepower through 2.
Well, just being able to keep his car down on the bottom of the racetrack, everybody's sliding up the banking. Steve Beckett able to take the short way around, keep his foot on the throttle. He'll do the same. Pitch the car in sideways into 1, but then drive it real straight off the corner.
He's got a lot of speed with that machine. Good to see for him, as like you said, he struggled here throughout 2021. 08 now up to the 3rd spot, trying to track down Rob Neely and leader Alan Downey. This time by, though, it'll be the white flag.
Darren Dryden's made a nice recovery as Trevor Young goes off the banking of the racetrack. He'll fall all the way to the back of the field. White flag is out. Not much competition right now for Alan Downey.
Final time down the backstretch and into corner number 3. He'll work it off of 4 and pick up the win. Alan Downey will get the checkered flag over Rob Neely. Then it's Stephen Beckett, Darren Dryden, Brian Nanakoke, Darryl Peltier, and Trevor Young. Heat number 2 now completed for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. 1 more to come.
A couple of drivers, Darren Dryden and Brian Nanakoke, turned their fastest lap of the race on that final lap. I found that impressive.
Call out to Nitro 54 Variety and the Burger Barn for presenting the Fall Classic here at Humberstone Speedway. 2 nights of racing action, both here on GeForce TV, and plenty of seats available here if you want to come and join us tomorrow night here to be in the outdoor grandstand area. There's no certification, vaccination certification identification needed, as I stumble over that, to be in the outdoor area. A lot of people were asking. It's just for the VIP tower. So join us tomorrow night. Race time 6:30 on Saturday night, and we'd love to have you here at Humberstone Speedway. Clint?
Just want to make a mention, there will be no Sprint Car B main. 6 of the Action Sprint Tour cars here tonight, and we won't need one for the 360s either, so no Sprint Car B mains. There will be one for the Constellation for the Sportsman tonight, though, guys.
Heat race number 3. Going from the pole out of Port Colborne in the Maverick Real Estate Dow Auto 5D, Jacob Dykstra. And to the outside, from Hamilton, the Petro Plus Travel Stop, Burger Barn 56, Derek Lemaire. Rolling off third for Bushwick in the juniors, JR's River Bait and Tackle, 77T of Tyler Powlis. And from the fourth spot from Brighton in the Apex Graphic Design and Printing, Midfield Transportation 39, this is Jonah Mutton. Going from fifth at a Wainfleet, the Sundance Pressure Washing Castle Plumbing BS 39, Brett Stratford. And lining up sixth from Brantford in the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction 48, Lance Erskine. Starting in the seventh spot from Thamesford in the Oakwood Transport AV Utility 14, Larry Gledhill. And going from eighth at Mount Bridges, the Vibrant Farms Pride Seeds 45, Nick Sheridan. Third and final qualifying heat for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's, 8 laps the distance.
Couple of young guns out there. Jacob Dykstra. Who would you rather be? Jacob Dykstra on the pole or Nick Sheridan starting last with the opportunity to get some passing points? Fran?
And you got the multi-division driver, Derek Lemaire, right outside of Mr. Dykstra, so this should be interesting.
Over to the green flag. Dykstra gets on it quick, and he'll head down into corner number 1 with Lemaire in tow. And Gledhill gets into Sheridan, up and over.
This was not the race where you want to be over 50.
They're going red on the Speedway. There's some discussion on that first because he did not land upside down or over on his side, but because he did get airborne, they decided to go to the red, and he got up into the left rear of Nick Sheridan.
We'll have a look here, and Sheridan did work down to the bottom of the racetrack. Not a lot of room, gets climbed up and over, flattens that left rear tire. So Nick Sheridan, Melissa Stevens is the race director tonight. There have been times when we've gone red where Doug Leonard will allow someone to either be towed to the pits or drive to the pits when they need service. So I think Nick Sheridan was kind of waiting for that go-ahead, and he continued to roll. But that permission not coming. You've got to adhere to the red flag and get her woed up.
We're here with the Gledhill car.
Gledhill going to get pushed back to the pit area. So the good news is those cars still both rolling after their incidents. The bad news is they got upside down, so you'll need to go through them before the feature event. But I imagine we'll see both of them out here come time for the feature to roll off.
So cars getting fired up again here. Good to see Jonah Mutton with us here tonight in the 39.
Good to see Brett Stratford here with us tonight in the 39.
Yeah, Brett back with that piecemeal car, but it's serving him well. It's just good to see him racing.
It's a bit of a mutt.
Yeah, Brett Go-Kart, expert in the Niagara region for many years.
He was a hell of a driver when it came to racing go-karts. We'll get Derek Lemaire pushed off. Another one with a storied karting past. Derek Lemaire was well beyond karts when Brett Stratford stepped into the mix there. I think Lemaire was done racing karts in the 80s.
We were talking a little bit earlier, too, about young Jacob Dykstra, third-generation driver. His dad, Dave, and grandfather, Gary, competitor here at the Speedway over the years.
Racing in his blood for sure. This will be a complete restart. No laps complete, which means it'll be a double file restart back to the green. Where did Nick Sheridan pit? I'm not sure. If you go off in the heat, can you come back on? I'm not sure what the rules are there.
I don't believe you can.
It's not like we've been watching these races all summer long.
Well, even for years at Ohsweken. You'd think we'd know. All right, here we go. Back to the green flag. We'll try it again. 8 laps the distance with Dykstra and Lemaire on the front row. Tyler Paulus and Jonah Mutton row 2. Brett Stratford, Lance Erskine back in row 3.
So we lost our last 2 starters. The final row were involved in that melee in the first lap. Not able to return. We're back under green to close out. Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's qualifying.
Dykstra breaks away quick. Lemaire, and here comes Brett Stratford up to the 3rd spot as he gets by a couple of cars there and sets his sights now on Derek Lemaire.
Stratford with a great exit that first lap off of turn number 2. A little bit higher on the racetrack here on the second lap, and he realizes as he slides up the track towards the edge of the banking, I got in there a little bit too hot.
Across the stripe they go another time. Dykstra stretching his advantage over Lemaire. Stratford riding in the 3rd spot. Paulus and Lance Erskine going at it right now for the 4th position down the back stretch and into corner 3.
Good battle as Erskine trying to show a nose to Paulus down into the corner. He had to back out of it. Paulus drives away. Jonah Mutton right there as well. A fantastic 3-car battle for the 4th spot.
Cross flags in the air for Jacob Dykstra as he continues to lengthen his advantage over Derek Lemaire. This kid has been so good all season long. Other than a couple of races, he's been able to win them all here on the Action Sprint Tour.
And have a look at the pitch of his top wing. That thing is close to flat as you can get. Second place comes by Derek Lemaire. It is standing up. So is Brett Stratford in the 39. So you give up, in theory, a little bit of cornering to pick up straightaway speed because you've got less wind resistance. But that car's still on a rail for Jacob Dykstra through the corners.
He leads with 2 laps left to go, goes down the back stretch as the battle for second place tightening up. I don't know if Brett Stratford's going to have enough time to challenge Derek Lemaire, but he's getting there.
He's got to figure out the exit of the turn. He's able to get there and close in. He just can't find a way to get around that 56 of Derek Lemaire. Final time through 3 and 4, Jacob Dykstra sends it down into the corner. He'll take the win in this qualifier. Coming home second, it's going to be Derek Lemaire. Brett Stratford comes home in 3rd. Tyler Paulus going to finish 4th, followed by Lance Erskine and Jonah Mutton.
Jacob Dykstra will win the 3rd and final qualifying heat for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. As we get ready for the next set of qualifiers, it'll be the Dirt Car Sportsman 8 laps for their qualifying heats here tonight.
3 qualifiers for the Sterling Lubricants Champion Motor Oil Sportsman. Had a good chance to talk with quite a few of the people. It's been 2 years since I've been back here at the Speedway, but it was truly awesome. Sprint cars going over the scales, clearing the way for the Sportsman.
Fast racetrack out there tonight. Terry Vince and staff have done a fantastic job on this side of the fence and out on the racing surface. And man, Fran, this was your first time here in a couple of years. What did you think when you walked onto the property for the first time?
Very impressive. There's so many changes. I could not put them on 2 hands. It's absolutely fantastic. And here come the Sportsman on the pole and out of the 66P. That'll be Greg Penante, the Malice Cider Farms ride out of Port Colborne. On the outside, that will be the Canadian Tire Tidy Man Maintenance 12 of Emily Petrowski out of Port Colborne. In the Bellinger Electric 18L, that will be Adam Leslie from Port Colborne. The 22, that will be Terry Smith, and Terry's out of Chippewa, the Cooper Motorsports ride. The 35, that will be William Racine out of St. Paul, Quebec, in the Nokian Tire ride. Looking, the 21P, that will be Tyler Pachelski in the Nickel Street Clothesline ride from right here in Port Colborne. And the Gaston's Auto Sales 99P from Port Colborne, Greg Penante. The 20 of Jay Mallory not out here with this group.
Jeff Pinty at one end of the field, Greg Pinty at the other, but Adam Leslie almost had a great run to the inside to battle for the lead. He might have clipped the guardrail on the inside, but either way, he really had to check up in that Brad Rouse number 18L.
Brad Rouse heads down into corner number 1, trying to get by Jeff Pinty in the 66 as they work it down the back stretch. Now it's door-to-door for the third position. Smith on the inside of Pacholski.
It's a Rouse car. It's Adam Leslie behind the wheel.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're all right.
You just said that, didn't I?
Well, it's okay.
See, I thought you made a mistake saying 18L.
I see.
See? I was going the other way.
You thought I was wrong, but you were mistaken.
We are almost done this season, right? So it's Pinty, Leslie now, 1 and 2. Over Greg Pinty in the 99P, and then Terry Smith back there in the 22. Pacholski going at it right now as well with the 35 of William Racine.
Yeah, Racine looking to the inside of Pacholski there as we reach the halfway point of this heat race. Adam Leslie still trying to feel that car out. It looks like he just has phenomenal speed at the entry of the corner right to the center, and then he can't quite get the power down to come off the turn.
Here he comes back in corner number 1, working on the back end of the Dandy Curb 66P machine. They're door-to-door now down the backstretch. Leslie inches ahead down in corner number 3, backs it up a little bit there. Now will come across the stripe with 2 to go as the leader.
2 more times around as Jeff Pinty falling back into the grips of Greg Pinty. That looks to be the battle on the racetrack as Adam Leslie checking out just a little bit out in front. He'll drive it off to the white flag. 8 car lengths the advantage for the leader.
Final time around for Leslie over the Pinty's. Jeff in second, Greg in third, trying to gain ground on the 66P. The final time into 3. Checkers out. Leslie gets the win over Jeff Pinty. Greg Pinty third. Then it's Emily Pacholski in the 4th spot. William Racine. And then it'll be Tyler Pacholski and Terry Smith credited with the final position.
You got the Pinty brothers, and you got the Pacholski brother and sister team out there also. You see them out?
Second qualifier coming out onto the racetrack off of corner number 2 now.
They must have changed the lineups a little bit, so I'm going to... Okay, the Blue Moon Potatoes, at Justin Sharp out of St. Catharines, and condolences, he lost his grandfather this past week. And the 174, that will be driven by Chris Storm and U-Card Concrete. 174 out of St. Catharines. The 49, that will be the big dog, Bill Gill and Billy's out of Fort Erie. The 5S, that will be the Sharp, the 5S of Kevin Sharp, or the Matt Sharp and the Sharp Fabricating right out of Port Colborne. The Bobcat of Hamilton 72, JMF, James Michael Friesen out of St. Catharines. The 74, that will be the Robar Center ride of Taylor Vanderzanden out of Fenwick. The 13M, that'll be the home hardware ride of Dan McKay out of Thorold. And the Hainers Discount Tire 2K, that'll be Rob Knapp out of Niagara Falls. And the 74X, that will be the Outlaw Chassis ride of Dave Flanagan. I think I got the 2 of them, the Vanderzanden 74s, confused, but they are both out there.
You would not be the first to have done that, Fran.
Guilty.
Vanderzanden with a good start, but not as good as Justin Sharp. Sharpie up the inside in the Blue Moon Potatoes, number 8.
He'll run it down to the inside, look for the lead off of corner number 4, but Vanderzanden will lead at the stripe over Sharp.
Ooh, trouble for the Nutter 174.
Off the corner, they work it. Sharp. Oh, Vanderzanden takes a shot, I think, there from Friesen as they work through corner 4. Friesen back there in third. Then it's Matt Sharp riding along in the 4th spot.
Friesen working on Vanderzanden in the 74 machine for that 2nd spot. Meanwhile, out in front, Justin Sharp pulling away.
Down the back stretch goes Sharp, your leader, over Van der Zanden. Then the 72 of JMS, James Michael Friesen in that third position. Cross flags in the air, 4 in, 4 to go. Here for the Dirt Car Sportsman, heat race number 2.
Am I crazy, or is Matt Sharp having a better drive than we've seen him have out there? Hanging in there with that top 3. He's a few car lengths back, but giving it a nice drive.
I'll go with both. You're crazy, and he's having a good run.
And racing with a heavy heart with his grandfather's passing this week also.
So is Matt Sharp the same relation as Justin? Okay.
Spelled differently.
There we go.
One with an E, one without.
Sharp out in front now over James Michael Friesen in the Bobcat number 72, trying to close in on the leader with Van der Zanden there in the third position. Coming to the white flag.
Sharp running a great line. He's able to go into the corner, keep that left front down towards the guardrail. 1 and 2, he's a little bit higher on the track, but you can see he's able to get right back to the throttle and not leave much room at all for anybody to drive up underneath as Friesen closes in, but there's nowhere for him to go. With Sharp going to take the win. Friesen in second, then it's Van der Zanden, Matt Sharp, Rob Knapp, Daniel McKay, and Bill Gill in the 49. No, we sit on stools like this. How come there's no warning, like before your butt falls asleep? Because once it's too late, you can't even stand up because I can't feel my feet. But there's nothing to say, hey, you should stand up. Your legs are about to go numb. You ever think things like that?
I don't.
All right.
I just fall over.
Heat number 3 for the Sterling Lubricants champion motor oil Sportsman. The 3N, that's the Cam's Welding ride of Noah Mamo out of Ridgeway. On the outside, actually on the inside, that'll be the LeMays meets 62 John Babien out of Port Colborne. And Mike Knapp Ford 108, that's Billy Bleach out of Port Robinson. Lucky 7, the Willard Concrete and Trucking ride, that's Cody McPherson out of St. Catharines. And the Bellinger Electric 18R, that's Brad Rouse, Brad out of St. Catharines. The Reed's Haulage 68, that'll be driven by Curtis Friesen out of St. Catharines. In the Mongrel J. Mallory and the Kenny's U Poet number 20 out of St. Catharines. In the 1F, the United Rentals ride, that's Ryan Ferry out of Port Dalhousie. The 174 of Chris Storm out of St. Catharines, and the three Mamo of Dave Mamo out of Fort Erie.
If I had a knife and fork and I scraped it across the steel plate in my head, that's what that sound would sound like.
It's like someone punched me right in the inside of the eardrums.
Oh. Wow.
Although the sound of your voice isn't that much different to me. It gives me that same cold, prickly feeling in my ears.
Touche. Across the stripe they work it. This is Brad Rouse, right?
Will the real Brad Rouse please stand up?
Well, I'm not used to seeing him in the white car either. That's throwing me for a whirl.
Still got an 18 on it. What is your matter?
I know, but still out in front. Cody McPherson right there in that second position with the Mongrel J. Mallory. He's done some work to get up there to third.
Is it just me? Did the last heat have 6 cars and this one have 12? More to talk about as they work down through 3 and 4 to the halfway point of this one. 4 laps in, 4 laps to go.
They totally rearranged the heats from when we got them originally.
Well, they balanced them beautifully.
Off of corner number 4, Rouse over McPherson, and Cody's closing the gap right now. He picked up the win last time here on G-Force at Humberstone Speedway. He's within a car length now, stalking down Brad Rouse.
Yeah, McPherson's really done a nice job closing in on the race leader. It's tough to do. Once Brad Rouse checks out, he is normally gone, but the top 2 right together. Jay Mallory in third, trying to hold off Ryan Ferry. Then a great 3-car battle for 5th.
Yeah, Ferry's been all over the back end of that Kenny U-Pole number 20 for that third position. This time by the leaders, we'll see the white flag. Brad Rouse has it, and he's lengthened his advantage over Cody McPherson.
Curtis Friesen to the inside of Bleach for the 6th spot. Friesen gets the car slowed down right on the inside of the racetrack. Gives Bleach lots of room. Checkered flag in the air. It'll be Brad Rouse to the win. McPherson second, Mallory third, Ferry in fourth. Mamo rounds out the top 5. Whoa, that was tight. Billy Bleach Jr. edges out Curtis Friesen to the line. Then it's Baby on, Dave Mamo, and Chris Storm.
So Dirt Car Sportsman qualifying heats are completed for the evening. Still to come, the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 sprint cars. See them buzzing to life over there on the push-off track. 358 modified still to come as well. And again, we want to thank Nitro 54 Variety and Burger Barn for presenting the Fall Classic here at Humberstone Speedway. 2 nights of racing. And we'd also like to thank Pinty's, Corpac Merchandising, GR Enviro Rail, the Enviro Niagara Group, S&W Service Center, and Peters Excavating.
So I've had a really busy week at work, Greg. Can you tell what that is?
Your face print?
My face against the window, but is that not like a cool piece of art?
Yeah.
That's the grease mark left behind. I'll have to get that shared.
That might be the greatest thing you've ever done.
Nice.
A grease stain up against a window. Was it Wendy's or McDonald's?
They should be thankful it was my face.
On that note, good night. Oh, wow.
Remember that Jeff Foxworthy skit? What was it? When they're mooning people in his car. Permission to hang. It was either pressed or hang. That's when you could be funny.
All right, on to something completely different.
One moment, Greg. While we have a chance, we want to welcome a gentleman to the Speedway today. Great to see Gary Krutchka back here at the Speedway. I understand he had a chance to take out a car here at the practice Wednesday night. Good to see you, Gary.
All right, our pole sitters made it out onto the racetrack, so we are set and ready to go, and it will be Scott Burke out of Charing Cross in the ERW contract in case he cuts number 9B. Starting on his outside from Grimsby, the Bowens Automotive Image Factor 90, Travis Cunningham. Going from third out of Caister Center in the Charlie B. Honey Mudcat Entertainment Center 11, Jamie Turner, and going from fourth out of Niagara Falls in the Signal 88 Security EMS Towing 70, Bailey Hurd. Going from fifth out of Beachville, the Castrol Edge, the Groot Hill Chevrolet Quick. Car number 5, DJ Christie. And going from sixth out of Beamsville, the J&E Recovery Julie Swayze Remax 88H, Josh Hansen. And good to see back here tonight, starting in the 7th spot from Brantford, the 27th, that's Paul Ballantyne.
Real good to see Paul Ballantyne back out at the racetrack. Burke and Cunningham on the front row, bringing him up to speed. Cunningham not getting up to speed near as quick as Burke did. In fact, he's all the way back to fourth coming through turn number 2.
Yeah, that was a sour start for the driver of the 90 machine. Here comes DJ Christie. Works to the outside of Scott Burke off of corner 1. He'll lead lap number 1 with Burke in tow over Jamie Turner.
Christie out in front with a new sponsor on that car. Quick gotten involved with the Beachville Bullet.
Here he comes off of corner 4 to lead lap number 2. Jamie Turner all over the back end of Scott Burke as they work it down into corner number 1. Turner on the bottom. They both skate up the track, and Josh Hansen works to the inside with one around. It's Travis Cunningham down at corner number 1.
That's a bad day gone worse for Travis Cunningham. I'm sure he's still sour over that, how that race started. But this is where you've got to know your surroundings. If he was kind of playing off that start, thinking Doug Leonard's in the tower, you get a feel for a race director and how they call. But tonight our Doug Leonard is Melissa Stevens. Doug has lost quite a bit of weight, but not that much weight.
I'm not even going to. That was good. So DJ Christie powers to the lead, and that number 5, as you mentioned, Quick fire starter coming on board, as well as the recent addition of All-Pin Trailer Supplies as well. So DJ has caught the attention of some sponsors here in the province of Ontario with a couple of wins here already.
I don't think the ladies that were at the races at Merrittville with All-Pin work for All-Pin Trailers.
Why do you say that?
Like, not, I don't know. There was a flock of them. Maybe they do. But always great to see new sponsors, and good to see that DJ Christie has been working hard to draw them in.
Very likable young driver, lots of talent. Travis Cunningham now will join the tail of the field. We're set and ready to go with 2 complete, 6 to go.
So the cone goes out on the front straightaway. Lots of you, most of you know what that is, but you cannot pull out a line before you get to the cone. You cannot pass before you get to the cone, and for God's sakes, don't hit the cone.
Or take it with you. It's been done.
That's the reason the official doesn't hang on to the other end of the rope.
Exactly. DJ Christie rockets out to a big lead over Scott Burke. Jamie Turner has been all over the back end of that 9B here since the drop of the green flag. Now he'll try the outside, and Josh Hansen wants in on this. He almost had both cars pass there before that caution.
Turner goes to the outside of Burke through 1 and 2. He runs short on racetrack at the exit, able to keep that car on the banking, and he'll power around the outside. Nice pass by Jamie Turner.
So put Turner to second. Here comes Hansen. He'll work on the bottom side of the 9B instead of going to the top. Travis Cunningham reeling in these two drivers. Now Hansen puts the pedal down. They'll both get by Jamie Turner. Well, almost down there in 3. Turner merged back into the passing lane all of a sudden.
You watch what you say, young man. I don't know that he signaled that lane change, but he sure did make it.
That's like going from the collectors to the HOV in about 2 seconds. DJ Christie, meanwhile, he has checked out a straightaway ahead of all of this racing. Jamie Turner feeling pressure from Josh Hansen, the 88H, sends the sparks a-flying down in corner 3.
Hansen's brake rotor glowing on the back of that race car as he tries to keep the back end underneath him. He's got one more shot to do it. Checkered flag's going to fly. DJ Christie brings home the win. Second place, who's it going to be? Jamie Turner for second. Josh Hansen third. Here's the battle for fourth. Fifth, Burke fourth. Travis Cunningham fifth. Bailey Hurd finishes sixth.
Seventh will go to Paul Ballantyne. So DJ Christie picks up the heat race win. And heat race number 1 for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series. Heat 2 coming to life over on the warm-up track. 3 in total here this evening. Change up for our pole sitter in heat race number 2. It'll be Jim Hoopinen piloting the Zero machine instead of the 14H, still out of the Steyer's Racing stables. Glenn had a good solid run in that car last time we saw him here on G-Force at Merrittville Speedway.
Gave it a great ride, and then the last time we saw him on track was at Delaware Speedway last weekend, where he ran a couple of races there on the Sunday.
How did he like that? Did you have a chance to talk to him, or?
No, we chatted with him very briefly beforehand. He'd flown up from Batesville, Arkansas that morning. And the gist of what I heard from after is that he needs to practice a bit. I mean, those are cars, it's really a rhythm thing. You've got to get out there, and he didn't have much seat time behind the wheel. But
well, he's been spending a lot of time with Kenny Schrader lately down in the south and racing the IMCA UMP modifieds, that style of modified, and doing pretty well down there. So Glenn's having a lot of fun right now, just trying different cars. He's had the 358, the sprint car, the Pinty series car, now these UMP modifieds.
What a great shot from our camera there. You can see just how jammed the pit area is here at Humberstone Speedway. Folks, tomorrow night it's more of the same. The weather forecast is beautiful. Make your way down here to Port Colborne and take in a fantastic night of racing.
6:30 start time. Gates open on the fan side at 4:30 tomorrow here at Humberstone Speedway. Here's the Heat Race 2 lineup starting from the pole from Fenwick in the car number 0 tonight. The Oshwegan Speedway Racehorse Enrium Dynamics 0. It's Jim Hoopinen. His outside from Picton in the Jones Automotive Car Quest 11J. Chris Jones. Going from third from Binbrook in the Nitro 54 variety. Creative Edge Signs and Graphics number 9. Liam Martin. And his outside, another driver from Picton in the Terry's Taxi. Elbrook Excavating 84. Tyler Rand. Going from 5th out of Dunnville, the Kingpin Farms, Burger Barn 91, Ryan Turner. And going from 6th from Hamilton, the Instant Insulation, Best Way Betting 01, K. Mikey Krutchka. And starting tail in this one, and I believe this is a second car. Or am I incorrect on this one? Because there's 2 13s, but Mike Thorne is supposed to be in this one. He's from Caledonia in the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction Petro Plus. Scored number 18 tonight, so that is not Corey Turner in the back of the pack. That should be Mike Thorne tonight. Corey will line up in heat race number 3, going from 3rd.
What a star-studded heat race. Hoopinen, Jones, Liam Martin, Mikey Krutchka, Ryan Turner, Mike Thorne.
112 cars in the pits tonight here at Humberstone Speedway. And some massive trailers. They really have the pits jam-packed.
So there's some confusion over who is who and what's what. I believe the 13 out there, like you mentioned, Greg, is Mikey Krutchka. Mike Thorne. I also believe that car has no transponder on it. So there is some confusion up here with the officials.
I think if we can have a look with the camera, I think it looks like on the left-hand side, it says 18. I just haven't been able to, if they could pan the camera just over a little.
Well,
yeah, they've got the tape on it there. So it says 18 on that side, but on the spectator side, it still says 13. So,
well, it's going to look good for pictures.
There you go.
That was sarcasm. The photographers are on the inside, so they'll see it's the 18. We don't know. It's kind of,
yeah.
If you back that up a little, is decision making in the pits, maybe another foot of white duct tape. It's a long walk to the right side of the wing.
Think of all the exposure they're getting, though, with these extra laps.
No doubt.
Mikey has experience in sprint car racing.
Yeah, he ran years in it. And I would say he did better in a crate sprint than he did in the 360s, and I think he's having more fun in the Thunderstock than he was the sprint cars, but he knows how to get it done.
Under the green flag, here we go. Around the outside, Chris Jones tried to get by Jim Hoopinen. Now Hoopinen will set sail down the backstretch. Martin now to the inside of the 11J.
Liam Martin with an aggressive move up into turn number 3. He'll take that second spot. Mikey Krutchka right behind Jones. And he's got Ryan Turner hot on his heels. What a move by Liam Martin to try to get to the inside of Jim Hoopinen. He started a bit there in turn number 2, and Liam Martin had a big head of steam.
Stiers works off. I cannot see that zero car, not think Glenn Stiers, but Hoopinen has the lead. Martin tried to stuff it in there in corner number 2. And now he'll try from the outside around corner number 3.
Liam Martin, high, wide, and handsome to the lead at the stripe by 3/1000ths of a second.
As the 18 of Mike Thorne will head to the pit area. Cross flags in the air for Liam Martin over Jim Hoopinen and Ryan Turner in 3rd. Ryan Turner's done some work here. Started 5th up to the 3rd spot.
I have a feeling 3rd is going to be as far as he's able to go out there, although he's closing in on Jim Hoopinen. Sprint car racing, the challenge in calling a sprint car race, Greg, is the enormous amount of space they can make up in just a lap or two. He is definitely closing in on the Hoopinen number 0, but it'll be white flag this time at a turn number 4.
One more trip around for Liam Martin, the driver out of Binbrook, Ontario, in the Nitro 54 variety. Creative Edge Signs and Graphics, number 9. Of course, drove in the Great Sprint Car Division aboard car number 29 and got the call last year to drive Dan Anacoke's car, and now driving Steve Lyons, number 9, to the checkered flag in heat race number 2. Jim Hoopinen 2nd, Ryan Turner 3rd, then it's Mikey Krutchka 4th, and Chris Jones crosses the line in 5th.
Five cars running at the finish of this one. Liam Martin, an impressive drive in that number 9. Everybody else in this race has Liam Martin beat in age by at least 15 years.
Yeah. Yep. Tyler Rand was the other driver that was supposed to be in that qualifying heat. He was the one that was...
Yeah, he pulled off in practice to the inside. So not sure what the issue was. Hopefully they can get it fixed. If not for the feature tonight, hopefully for tomorrow night. Be a shame to get knocked out of the whole weekend on the first night in practice.
Third and final qualifying heat. Coming to life over there off of corner number 2, and I think they're about to head out onto the racetrack. Starting in the pole for this one out of Oshwegan in the Oshwegan Speedway Racehorse. Case IH number 68, Aaron Turkey. And lining up on his outside, also from Oshwegan, the Nitro 54 variety. Number 15, this is Hodge, Dan Nanico. Going from third out of Tilsonburg in the Petro Plus Travel Stop, Burger Barn 13, Corey Turner. And rolling off fourth, the points leader out of St. Matthew de Belleville, Quebec. In the Four Seasons Forming, Mega Pumping 28, Jordan Poirier. And back in the third row, on the inside from Scotland in the Instapanels Styes Tree Service 87X, Sean Evans. And going from sixth out of Dorchester in the Malcolm Mills Mill Riding, Oshwegan Speedway 1, Holly Porter.
6 cars deep this final qualifier for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder. Aaron Turkey and Dan Nanicoke on row number 1. Then it's Corey Turner in the 13. Jordan Poirier in the 28. Corey Turner, I've got to think, is a little disappointed he has not found victory lane yet this year. So I look for him to be real aggressive here this weekend to try to get it done.
This is a track that plays to his favor, his driving style. We'll see what he can do here, but he's alongside the point leader. Tough sledding there in Jordan Poirier.
Poirier goes up the racetrack there at the start of this one. Look at Dan Nanicoke fighting back on Aaron Turkey there on the outside. A good opening lap for Nanicoke in the 15.
Turkey leads lap number 1 with Nanicoke in tow. Then it's Poirier there in the third spot. Turner will find an open door on the bottom side as Poirier went high in corner number 2. They're side by side into 3.
Corey Turner with a big run off of turn number 2 as Jordan Poirier almost got up off the outside of the racetrack. He had to get woed down as Poirier closed the door there. Now Poirier will take over that second spot from Nanicoke.
Sets his sights now on leader Aaron Turkey in the 68, who's run a part-time schedule here in 2021. Missed a few races in the middle part of the season. You can see the 68 back here tonight and out in front over Poirier. And now it's Corey Turner getting by Nanicoke for third.
Down the front straightaway, Turkey still leading Jordan Poirier. He's got almost half a straightaway lead. Poirier drives it in deeper, but Turkey with a nice line coming off the turn, able to get that power down.
So Turkey, Poirier, and Turner. Wow, Turner really sliding it through corner number 1, not getting the bite that he wants right now as track conditions seem to be changing a little bit from where we were earlier on in the night. 2 laps left to go.
But I'll tell you, Corey Turner is making good speed. Last lap he was faster than Jordan Poirier. This lap a touch slower, but pretty similar times between our second and third place cars. Aaron Turkey, though, he has had it all his way in this race.
So it's Turkey, Poirier, and Turner, and then a good 3-car battle at the back with Nanicoke, Evans, and Holly Porter all going for that 4th position. Checkers in the air.
Aaron Turkey takes the win. Jordan Poirier second, third going to Corey Turner, and Dan Nanicoke with a good run to finish 4th ahead of Sean Evans and Holly Porter.
So that concludes qualifying now for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Cars with Aaron Turkey picking up the heat race win. 358 Modified still to come with their qualifying heats. And as far as I know, no B mains necessary here this evening.
So far, nothing listed on my race pass, so we should be going right to features after a brief break.
All right, if you drive a Chevy Equinox with the license plate X Target, EXTARGET, we need you to please move your vehicle. You're blocking someone in who is trying to leave.
As we see the CAA out on the Speedway, want to congratulate Billy the Kid Willard on his recent retirement. Many years working with the CAA.
Yeah, he's been at that for quite a while, Fran.
For many years, led the whole dirt circuit in feature win totals also.
Yeah, that's true. He was a long-time leader in that division. That category, rather. This is the part of the show, Greg, where we build suspense.
Great to see the 358 Modifieds back here at the Speedway. For many years, it was like 1 or 2 times a year if they made it. But they've been back on a regular schedule this year, thanks to Terry Vince and the entire crew here at the Speedway. Done a terrific job.
They need a traffic circle there. We're watching over in the pit area where they've got them lined up.
That'd be kind of super.
I mean, they've put them almost everywhere else.
Cambridge has to be the world capital of the traffic circle.
I'm not going to lie, though. It is the quicker route.
I think so. Sometimes I just want to keep going around and around just to screw up the flow of traffic.
Just once I want to do one of those Facebook videos where they ramp up through the center part.
I'd like to watch
Dukes
that.
of Hazzard.
Contrary to you gentlemen, I hate them things.
Get up to them and turn left. They're more fun that way.
People in Buffalo do not know how to handle them.
I think that's global, Fran. Not sure what the delay is.
We're waiting.
That's what. I see. Ryan looks so lonely. Coming across the racetrack,
So
camera and microphone.
We had Ryan on air earlier with Clinton's son Jack testing the mics, and they did a great job. Jack had some commentary. Ryan did a really good job, talked about his falling experiences.
So what are we doing here?
And Ryan's got a fantastic voice. He should not be behind a camera. He should be up here, and we should be. Well, that just belittled his job, saying
the ice cream
that
buffet?
talking's more important than the cameraman.
Yeah. Don't threaten to have us hold the cameras. Why are they only showing the concession?
Here we go for the Rick's Delivery 358 Modifieds on the pole in the Wooden Company number 1 XP out of Thorold. It is Austin Wood. On the outside, the 72, the GR Enviro rail, that is Bill Podwinski, and Bill is out of St. Anne's. Row number 2, the 88, that will be the Willard Concrete and Trucking ride of Shane Pearson. And Shane is out of St. Catharines. The Blue Moon Potatoes, Cameron Trucking 28, that will be Todd Gordon out of St. Catharines. And the number 96, making the move to the Modifieds tonight, the Niagara Employment Center, Bones Mobile, it's Luke Carrollton out of Port Colborne. On the outside, the Rona, Gaston's Auto Sales 37, that's Gary Lindbergh, Gary out of Ridgeway. And I got the 72s confused again tonight. That is Bill Podwinski in the red 72, and Tanner is in the white and green 72.
Now, on timing and scoring, it's coming up Cody McPherson, but...
Yeah, Cody said he would not be driving tonight. It is Tanner and Bill.
Well, there you go.
I'm sorry, who's on first?
Who's on second? What's on first?
Oh, right. Well,
That's still a classic. Like, it doesn't get any better than this.
Not like us.
We get old.
Austin Wood out in front. And that Peters Excavating, number 1 XP. Shane Pierce riding pretty right now in the second spot.
Luke Carlson having a great battle side by side with Podwinski. Now they're 3 wide. Gary Lindbergh to the inside in the 37. He'll move all the way up to third.
Yeah, put Lindbergh there in that third position, trying to track down Shane Pierce. So we've got 3 laps on the board, 5 to go in this first 3:58 modified qualifying heat.
Out in front, it is all Austin Longwood in the 1XP. So he takes the halfway point over Shane Pierce, having a good drive by his own right in the second spot. Lindbergh trying to close the gap on that number 88 machine, but Pierce able to hold court there.
Another time by the flag stand. 3 laps left to go in this first modified qualifier. Pierce starting to feel a little bit of pressure now from the number 37 of Gary Lindbergh as we got one around up in the corner.
Todd Gordon puts it around in turn number 1 up on the outside. Now we'll go yellow.
Yeah, Gary Lindbergh will be joining Matt Williamson as the lone Canadians at Super Dirt Week this coming up at Oswego Speedway.
Yeah, such a shame the Canadian contingent can't make it down there. We've got a replay here heading down into the corner, and Todd Gordon just lost the back end to the 28 machine. Innocent looking spin.
Very unusual for Todd also. Veteran. And the veteran Doug Flash Gordon turning the wrenches for Todd.
Look at that race surface, though. It looks fantastic. Taking a look at that replay there.
Terry Vince has done a great job here, and the people he's put around himself to keep things prepared and keep the facility looking good.
I understand they put a lot of water down with it, like 8 loads yesterday also. So they've definitely been working hard.
We're back to the green flag. 2 laps left to go in this one. Austin Longwood over Shane Pierce. Gary Lindbergh, Luke Carlton, top 4.
Pierce drives it hard down into 1 and 2. That opens the door on the bottom for Gary Lindbergh. Pierce able to drive it off of turn number 2 with a bigger head of steam. Maintain that second spot, but Lindbergh drives up the inside. Pierce is not giving him any more room than he needs to.
Here comes Lindbergh with a good run through corner 2, but Pierce staying strong on the outside. Lindbergh takes the spot going into corner number 3. Cover the checker flag. Austin Longwood will take the win.
Gary Lindbergh second. Oh, that was dirty. He just brake checked Shane Pierce coming across the checkered flag. Spencer, if you can show that again, watch the 37. You can see Gary Lindbergh is visibly a little upset, but watch them come across the line and watch the 37 car lock up the brakes. Gary Lindbergh's a fierce competitor. Had Shane Pierce been behind him, or even worse, a little offset from him, that would have sent his car sailing. So they're still having some words down there as they head towards the pit area.
Two more qualifying heats to go here at the Speedway tonight. And the way they're going to line up on the pole out of Ridgeway, the Page Motorsports 43, Brian Page out of Ridgeway. On the outside, the Niagara Employment Center, Bones Mobile, Fast Freddie Carroll out of Niagara on the Lake. Driving the Too Cool Automotive, Too Cool, that is Derek Van Mill. Derek out of Welland. The Willard Concrete and Trucking 777, that is Tyler Willard out of Thorold. Out of Font Hill. Then the Henderson's Pharmasafe 38, that's Scott Wood. Scott out of Thorold, starting 5th. The number 82, that is Tornado Tommy Flanagan. Good to see him back. Tommy out of Port Robinson. And the Rick's Delivery number 12, that's Heavy Chevy, Chad Chevalier from right here in Port Colborne.
That's how they line up. Brian Page on the inside of row number 1. Fast Freddie Carlton on the outside as the green flag flies.
Off they go down into corner number 1. And some wild stuff going on right now down to the inside. Look at that, 3 wide. Man, juking and jiving like everybody's all over the place. Those positions changed about 4 times from 3 to 4.
Yeah, that was all kinds of hairy down there as Brian Page hung on to the second spot. Chad Chevalier with a problem between 1 and 2. That will probably draw a yellow flag.
So Chevalier comes to a stop at the outside of corner number 2. Fred Carlton, your leader.
Yeah, Chad from right here in Port Colborne has bounced back and forth over the years between Sportsman 358 Modifieds and decided to come back into the modified world this season.
I'd be curious to talk to someone like Chad Chevalier, who's pretty good at keeping his nose clean, on what the budgetary difference. Oh, yeah. Demolition Derby in turn number 2. The tow truck backs into the red Blazer. Hit him.
I missed it.
Hit him. I don't think that is a Blazer.
That's a.
Hey, look at
Ford Escape.
that safety crew member just sitting there as if.
It's an Escape. I used to have one almost identical, but I know that's not it.
Here we go.
Check this out. So they get up to the back of Chevalier. Safety vehicle. I'm just going to hang out here. Whoa, no, I'm not. I'm glad that it's not a Stinger, but the hook wasn't out further. It would have gone right through the windshield. And we would have called the action right here on G-Force TV.
You had to be there.
Exactly. Don't you dare miss it. I miss Billy Red Lions and Gorilla Monsoon. All my role models are gone.
Taking me back into my Maple Leaf Wrestling days.
You got it.
Lord Athol Layton.
Those were good times.
I bought the book years ago, Dewey Robertson. That was quite a history.
Is that right?
Yes. Became quite the character, unlike Dewey.
So obviously a problem in the drivetrain for Chad Chevalier in that number 11. Tow truck with the back end of that car up in the air. Chad will get the unfortunate ride back to the pits. I want to see that safety truck drive by here and
See if there's any damage.
although half the fun's just assuming it's terrible.
And Spencer right on the ball with the replay earlier.
He doesn't miss much.
No, he doesn't.
All right, ready to come back to the green flag. Fred Carlton, Scott Wood on that front row, and we're back on it.
Tyler Willard sticking to the inside. He'll drive up underneath Scott Wood down the back straightaway to challenge for that second position. He's going to get it.
Willard into the runner-up spot across the line with 6, make that 5 laps left to go on the scoreboard. Wood drifts back to the 3rd spot, now falling a little bit farther behind to Tom Flanagan in the 82.
Further back, Derek Van Mill having a good battle with Brian Page as they race side by side. Now Van Mill with the 5th spot.
Out in front, it's all Fred Carlton at the moment. Tyler Willard right now in the 2nd position. Scott Wood riding in 3rd. This time that'll be 3 laps left to go.
Everybody's spaced out. Still the most fun race is Van Mill and the 2 Cool. Ahead of Brian Page in that number 43. It might be at the back of the pack, but it's fun watching. Out in front, Freddie Carlson going to see 2 laps to go as he continues to pull away from Tyler Willard in that 2nd spot. Scott Wood not falling back too far off of Tyler Willard in the 777s there as they go down the back straightaway, but with 1 lap to go, I don't think he's close enough to mount a challenge.
One final time around for Fred Carlton. In the number 96, works it through 1 and 2, now down the backstretch one last time. Tyler Willard giving chase, but he's a long ways back. Scott Wood, couple car lengths off of him. And cover the checkered flag. Carlton gets the victory.
Carlton wins over Willard, Scott Wood, Tommy Flanagan, Derek Van Mill, and Brian Page.
And we have an update. There will be a B main for the Sterling Lubricant Sportsman coming up after our final modified heat. Nine-car B main.
Contis are always fun.
And heat number 3 for the Rick's Delivery 358 modifieds. On the pole, the 71, that's Mike Bowman and the Seaway Fluid Power right out of St. Catharines. On the outside, that will be Steve Bernier in the number 25, and Steve is out of St. Hyacinthe, Quebec. Row number 2, that'll be the 01, that's Chris Raby out of Alexandria, Ontario, the McColeman Media Ride. On the outside, the number 96, that's driven by J.F. Corvo out of St. Denis, Quebec, in the Grinders Steakhouse Ride. And row number 3 be the 1P of Darren Peters, Darren out of Stevensville in the Peters Construction Ride. And in the 2XP, that will be driven by Tommy Neal, out of the exclusive imprint car out of Hamilton. Good to see Tom back. Once again, 8 laps will be the distance. Final qualifying heat for our Contis.
Second row traveled quite a distance to be here tonight. Chris Raby in the 01, Steve Bernier in the 25 just ahead of them. Alongside of him, J.F. Corvo. All of our travelers seem to be in this heat race. Number 3, Mike Bowman in the 71, going to bring him to the green. Bernier alongside in the 25.
Green is out. They rumble down into corner number 1. Bernier on the outside line. Bowman on the bottom. Bowman gets a good launch off of corner number 2. They stay side by side down the backstretch.
Remember, Bernier gave Matt Williamson a pretty solid run last season here at Humberstone Speedway. Bowman able to edge out ahead of the Bernier number 25. Chris Raby third and 01. He's under attack by Darren Peters in the 1P.
Corner number 4 comes Mike Bowman, your leader, over Bernier, then Peters, and here comes Raby down to the inside, gives him a little body check in corner number 4, takes the spot. Corvo looks to the outside of Peters.
Side by side, door to door, down into 3 and 4, Corvo and Peters. Oh, a little bit of a hip check by Peters coming off at turn number 4. It's been a tough couple of laps. There was contact with Raby, now contact with Corvo. And I just have a feeling Darren Peters might be driving a little irritated right now.
Yeah, it looks that way right now as it's been a contact-filled qualifying heat. Bowman out in front over Bernier. Then it's Raby in third. Peters running fourth, and Corvo right now in the 5th spot. Tom Neal riding back there in the 2 machine in 6th.
Darren Peters closing the gap on the 01 of Chris Raby. That Peters Construction 1P runs about 2 car lengths off the back bumper of the 01 as we reach 2 laps to go.
Mike Bowman over Bernier. Bernier from the province of Quebec joining us here this weekend, trying to close the gap with the white flag in the air. He's closed it a little bit, but not enough.
One more time for Bowman as he works into 1 and 2. Nice and smooth in that 71 machine. Great drive off of turn number 2. He extends his lead just a hair over Steve Bernier.
Final time off of 4 checkers up in the air. Mike Bowman picks up the win over Bernier. Raby third, then it's Peters 4th. 5th goes to Corvo, and Neal will complete the running order in that one. So Mike Bowman will pick up the win in this qualifying heat for the 358 modifieds over Bernier, and that was a physical affair for the 358 modifieds. There were 2 good body checks in it, which are 4 more than a Leaf game.
It is hockey season, so why not? That'll do it for qualifying, with the exception of this Consi.
Had a talk with Chris Raby. It's been about 12, 15 years since he's been here, since he used to follow the old Sportsman tour. And here's the lineup for Sportsman Consi. On the pole, out of Fort Erie, that'll be the big dog, Billy Gill. On the outside, that'll be driven by Curtis Friesen out of St. Catharines. Row number 2, driving 62, that will be John Babian from right here in Port Colborne. On the outside, the 174, Chris Storm, Chris is out of St. Catharines. The 74, that will be, I think that's the Outlaw Chassis ride of Dave Flanagan. I'll double check it on the way by. The 3 Mammo, that will be Dave Mammo, Dave out of Ridgeway. The 78, that'll be Scott Sonnenberg out of Shirkston. And the 24, that will be driven by Cameron Lane, Cameron out of St. Catharines.
That is the Flanagan 74 machine.
Thank you, Adam.
Otherwise known as which I go by sometimes at home. You again? Sorry, Fran. We pick on each other up here, and you're part of the team. So.
I haven't missed any line all season.
Caught in the crossfire, poor Fran.
We like it that way.
That's good. I enjoy it. You're too classy for it. We have.
I know. There's one in every crowd.
So I believe 6 cars going to qualify out of this one. Should have been top 6 out of each of the heats qualified. So 2 cars in this race are not going to make it into tonight's main event. Too much can go wrong in a Conti. Any little problem with the race car, your night is done. It's a stressful event. But here they come. Bill Gill in that white number 49. Curtis Friesen in the red 68. Green flag is in the air.
And they go side by side into corner number 1. Friesen on the outside will take the advantage briefly in corner 2. Gill in tow with that 49.
Oof. Mammo giving Baby a little bit of help down into turn number 3. Some contact there. That puts Mammo back in the clutches of the 74 of Dave Flanagan. Flanagan to the inside for that 4th spot.
Friesen out in front over Gill, then it's Babian. They're in 3rd. Flanagan in the 74 giving chase. Working the outside line there, but Babian's going to get by Gill to the inside for 2nd and 1 around.
That's the Sonnenberg number 78. Comes to rest backwards in turn number 2. That's going to bring out a yellow flag, and we'll stack the deck once again.
Kind of mentioned the name Sonnenberg. Pat Sonnenberg, his dad, Harold, passed away just a few years back, was one of the longtime legends here at the Speedway. Drove competed almost 50 years here at the Speedway. Give a shout to Harold's wife, Liz, a good friend that I still keep in contact with, regular right up the road in Shirkston.
Yeah, definitely a famous racing name in these parts. 2 laps officially completed with 8 laps to go. Curtis Friesen leads the way over Babyon. If you happen to have timing and scoring up, Babyon not showing up by transponder, but we do know he's out there in that 2nd spot. Bill Gill running in 3rd, Dave Flanagan 4th. Then it's Dave Mammo in the 3M in 5th, and then Chris Storm is 6th in the 174. Those are the cars that would transfer into the main event. Cameron Lane and Pat Sonnenberg, they've got a little bit of work to do if they want to race in tonight's feature.
Got to give a shout out to Terry Huffman, too. He's been one of the right-hand mans for Terry Vince, longtime racer here at the Speedway. The old limited sportsman, bombers, and did quite a work getting the 2nd floor bar. That'll be opening up hopefully next year with everything. Got a lot of the old pictures from here at the Speedway.
A lot of history here, that's for sure. And we understand this will be the swan song for Dave Mammo in the 3M this weekend. After the weekend's done, he plans on retiring. Right along the guardrail on the inside goes Mammo. Problem for Sonnenberg in the 78. He goes off the track, comes back on the track, but he's lost about a straightaway to the rest of the field.
Across the stripe, Friesen leads it another time over Babian and Flanagan. Gill back to the 4th spot now. Storm and Mammo side by side. Give Mammo the advantage for the moment down the backstretch.
Sonnenberg really struggling with the handling in that 78 machine. That's 2 laps in a row. He's just about gone off the end of the front straightaway. Cameron Lane 1 spot out looking in, but he's going to try to battle with Chris Storm for that 6th position. As I say that, Storm to the inside of Dave Mamo. A little bit of protection.
5 in, 5 to go in this one. Friesen out in front. Babian is feeling now some heat from Flanagan in that 74. He's right there looking for that 2nd position. Bill Gill holding on to 4th.
Yeah, Flanagan using some alternative lines here around Humberstone Speedway. I'm still watching this battle for 6th. The Mamo's got the spot, but Cameron Lane doing everything he can to try to get a run. Problem for Storm there in the 174, and now it's going to be a 3-car battle for 5th and 6th as Cameron Lane heads up to the outside.
Side by side for the 2nd spot. Babian on the bottom, Flanagan on the outside as they go down into corner number 3. Flanagan gets a good launch through the corner on the outside line, works it off a 4. He'll take the 2nd spot with 2 laps left to go.
2 laps left. Cameron Lane working to the outside of Mamo in the 3. He'll take over the 6th spot. 2 more trips around. Mamo's got 2 more attempts to get back that 6th position as the white flag flies for Curtis Friesen.
1 more trip around for the 68 machine. So keep an eye on Lane and Mamo in this battle right now for the 6th spot.
Curtis Friesen going to come home with the win in this one. Flanagan 2nd, Baby on 3rd, but Cameron Lane goes up the racetrack, almost off the track. Here comes Mamo trying to get that 6th transfer position contact.
Here they come off a 4, and Lane will get the spot over Mamo. And then Sonnenberg completes the running order. Good battle. That's what you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
Curtis Friesen racing the old 68, synonymous with it, the late Alex Friesen, and great buddy Ray McIver out of Sanborn. And you mentioned Dave Mamo got his start back here in the pro stocks and many-time champion in the mod stocks, and made a return about a year or 2 ago along with Noah.
Yeah, family affair for the Mamos this year. So it's time to go feature event racing, but I'm not sure if they're lined up just yet. We may be facing an intermission, Greg.
I believe we are. I don't see any cars over there, so we'll take a quick break here on G-Force TV and join us back here at Humberstone Speedway.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flap.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Sausages and Street Dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Epic Racewear. Race apparel for racers by racers. OSR, Canada's source for race car parts and consumables.
Gary Lindbergh out on the racetrack right now. You only imagine getting some tune-up in for Super Dirt Week next week. And putting on quite a spark show down the front straightaway.
Gary always wanted to put everything into his time out on the track.
Heck of a wheelman is Gary Lindbergh.
Couple-time Sportsman champ here at the Speedway.
Well, guys, he's either trying to work on their brakes, but obviously they have some serious.
Yeah, whatever they're working on in the braking system might not have worked. Although it did slow down at the end of each straightaway, so there is some function in those brakes. So the Brian Cullen pace truck back on the track on the back straightaway. The street stocks are rolling out. It is time to go feature racing here at Humberstone Speedway.
On the pole, the 25 out of Hamilton, that's Ken Sargent. On the outside, starting second, the 05, Pete Reed out of Stevensville. Row 2 out of Hagersville, driving the 24. And that is Blake Bomberry. On the outside, the 01 junior, Barry Beck from Port Colborne. Row number 3, the 7X, that'll be Kevin Kokerick out of Fon Hill. The 28 of Jimmy Lampman out of Caister Center. Row number 4, the 49, that'll be Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey out of Hagersville. The 1J2 of the Fonz, Jason Fontaine. Row number 5, the 21S, that'll be Spencer Smolders out of Merlin. And the 65, Scotty Dunn, formerly out of Shrixton. Row number 6, the 76 of Jeff Drummond out of Tilbury. The 55 of Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne out of... And Mike is out of Caledonia. Row number 7, the 44, that'll be Robbie General out of Hagersville. The 37J, that'll be Jeff Bean, and Jeff is out of Dunville. Row number 8, the 41, that'll be Adam Plazek out of Caister Center. And the 11R, Bryce Richardson from right here in Port Colborne. Row number 9, the 16 of Scott Suk out of Blenheim. The 11T of Go Fast Tipo from Thorold. And row number 10, the 21, that will be driven... Oh, that'll be Blake Bomberry Sr. out of Hagersville. The 19, Kyle Wirt out of Ancaster. The 13, that will be driven by Ryan Denning out of Hagersville. The 53, Logan Schwedick out of Jerseyville. And the 9, and that will be our lineup. Oh, we have a brand new 75 out there also.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that 75 is, Fran.
We have no clue. That is definitely not in their lineup.
No, let's see if we have the 75 on a transponder.
No, we
it doesn't
don't.
Look like it. Pay no mind to the black number 75. It is not really there.
It would be a shock if he comes up. Well, we have no idea, but he could be impressive. We just don't know who he is.
Stranger things have happened.
And I made a mistake of calling Casey Huffman in the 13. It is Ryan Denning tonight.
White flag going to be displayed this time by, and that is feature time. The first of 5 feature events. 20 laps the distance for the Thunder Stocks. Barry Beck in the 01 going to start on the pole. Alongside, it's Kenny Sargent in the 25. That's an impressive row 2. Dave Bailey looking for his 100th career dirt street stock victory in the number 49. Pete Reed looking to finish off a stellar 2021 season with another trip to victory lane. Who's it going to be, folks? We will find out. Row 3, it's Blake Bomberry in the 24, alongside Kevin Kokerick in the 7. Anybody from this first 5-6 rows could make their way tonight to victory lane. We're about to find out. The green flag is out.
Here they go down the front stretch. Beck will jump out to the early lead into corner number 1 with Sargent right there on his back bumper. Pete Reed sitting back there in that 4th spot, trailing behind Dave Bailey. The top 4 breakaway just slightly. They're 3 wide behind them.
Bunbury slides across the racetrack, and the seas kind of parted for that number 24, but it puts him in a 3-wide battle. Fontaine in the middle slams the door shut on Jim Lampman as Bunbury struggling to keep that 24 machine low on the racetrack. Meanwhile, the top 4 have driven away by a few car lengths over Fontaine in the 5th spot.
Back across the line, leads lap number 2 over Bailey, Sargent, and Reed. That's the breakaway, and then a gap back to Jason Fontaine. Little smoke down in corner number 1. I'm not sure if somebody hit the guardrail down there or if there was smoke coming out of one of those cars.
It can be hard to tell. Barry Beck continues to lead the way, running the bottom of the racetrack. He's protecting that inside line. Dave Bailey trying to dig to the bottom, but it's as if Barry Beck's saying, if you're going to pass me, you're going to do it on the outside the long way around. So he keeps that 0-1 towards the bottom of the racetrack, slings it off at turn number 4 and leads another lap.
Logan Schwedek also off in the number 53.
Pete Reed takes over the 3rd spot and a nice pass over Ken Sargent. Now Jason Fontaine will try to do the same thing, and that 1J looked low on the 25, has the door shut going into turn 3. Here they come off the 4th corner. Fontaine again trying to get a run to the inside of the 25.
Top 3 all running right against the guardrail on the inside of the track. Dave Bailey has a look up higher as they go down into 3. Then they'll run right through the tire tracks of Barry Beck. Pete Reed in tow as well. It almost looks like a train race, that front 3, Greg.
Yeah, Pete Reed has caught the top 2 after he cleared Ken Sargent. He reeled in that 49 of Dave Bailey and the 0-1 of Barry Beck as we've got Ryan Denning off into the infield.
Something wrong with the rear end of that race car. It looks all wobbly down there as he pulls to the infield of the track, but out in front continues to be Barry Beck, leading lap after lap. Now the top 5 have all closed together on the back straightaway. Beck continues to run the bottom. Dave Bailey enters a little higher there in turn 3, but by the time they get to the exit, they're running that same line along the bottom.
Big gap between the top 5 and the 6th place runner. Spencer Smolders again running well in that black number 21, but he opens the door for Jim Lampman to go by for that position. Meanwhile, at the front, Dave Bailey looking to the outside of the leader, Barry Beck. Now he looks down low off of 4.
Bailey had opened his line even more up to the high side of 3 and 4, but then right back to the bottom he goes to continue the assault on the back of Barry Beck.
Starting to catch some lap traffic now. Blake Bomberry Sr. will be the first car in line of the leaders. Beck has the top spot of the cross flags. 10 in, 10 to go. Here comes Bailey to the outside trying to use the lap car. Oh, it doesn't work. Here comes Pete Reed. He has problems because of the car around in corner 2. Wow.
Holy moly.
Talk about Pete Reed having a look at the driver right in the eyes. He did it right there in corner number 2.
Scott Suk in the 16 machine. He had quite a view of that one.
At first, I was thinking, why is Pete Reed making that evasive move? And then, oh, there's a car there.
Yeah, what does he have against?
Let's see the replay here.
So down into the corner, they're all just racing for it. Barry Beck to the inside with the lead, and it's like, oh, hello.
And Dave Bailey tries to work the outside line around Blake Bomberry Sr. That didn't work.
Wow.
Close call there.
Got to give a call to Barry Beck Jr., the Bearcat, second-generation driver. His dad, Barry, was a great sportsman racer, and I used to sit with his mom, Lorna, back in the dance days back here at the Speedway, having a good run tonight, doing his best to hold off some very good street stock racers.
But everybody is able to avoid. They all ride behind the Brian Cullen pace truck. It is a good-looking truck, isn't it, Greg?
Very beautiful.
I haven't done that in a while.
Is that the same truck you'd know? Do you drive it? Yours is a GMC. That's a Chevrolet.
No, mine's a Chevrolet, just the 2018 model, and it's not very clean.
On the inside or the outside?
A little of both.
Inside's full of cheeseburger wrappers.
I sometimes stop for pizza. Like variety. Actually, I don't even know what's on the inside. See, here's the trouble, and you're going to encounter this because you've got 12 kids, and sooner or later they're going to be of driving age.
I found out everything that was in my car. I've got a brand new car in order due any day now, and I just got my current one all cleaned up inside and ready to go.
Well, that's exciting. So I bought a Chevette when I was 15 years old for $200, Greg, certified. Drove that sucker right through first year of college. But anymore, Connor gets his license. Like, well, okay, then go buy a rolling turd like I did and pay your dues. But that's sexy, Fran. But insurance is prohibitive. So I've got a company truck. You might as well drive my pickup truck, but life is not fair.
We are going green again, gentlemen.
It's a different generation. They don't get it.
I paid a lot of dues driving that Chevette. I miss that car.
For those listening, what's sexy that Adam got shown by Fran is the car that he bought. You said that's sexy, Fran, and didn't really tell us what you were talking about. Just to clear it
I
up.
like a little bit of mystery. It's none of your business what I was talking about.
Meanwhile, Dave Bailey out in front over Barry Beck is continuing to work the bottom side, 2x2 back through the top 6.
Barry trying to drive it deep into the bottom of the racetrack. Onto the bottom of the racetrack, I suppose, but Dave Bailey out in front. Once he gets a lead, he is hard to get around. Pete Reed running the second spot in that 0-5. He's had a lot of speed here at Humberstone. If there's anyone who could do it, Pete Reed this season would be the man.
Yeah, here he comes in that inside line there, trying to get by Barry Beck. A pair of Camaros going at it. Side by side into corner number 1. Pete Reed, the winner here on G-Force TV. Our last visit to Humberstone Speedway. He gets clear of Beck, now sets his sights on Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey.
Closing that gap right up on the left rear quarter panel of the 49 of Bailey. 14 laps complete, 6 laps remain, and Pete Reed to the inside of the 49. Side by side down the back straightaway. Reed with a great run on the bottom of the track.
Here they go, door to door. Off of corner 4. Across the stripe, Pete Reed leads a lap with 5 laps left to go.
Pete Reed closed in and just drove around the 49 of Dave Bailey, putting a gap between himself and that 49 machine. 4 laps left this time. Barry Beck is settled into that third spot, but Kenny Sargent has a look to the inside down into turn 1. Beck going to try to close the door, but Sargent's already there.
Pete Reed leads it into corner number 3. The battle for that third spot is where it's at right now. Fontaine down to the inside of Barry Beck, right on the back bumper of Ken Sargent. They're going to duke it out right down to the checkered flag for that third spot.
Sargent took the third spot. He might not be able to keep it long as Jason Fontaine with a good run up the inside into turn number 3. Fontaine backs out of it, but then powers through the center of 3 and 4. A little bit of contact. Whoa, more contact between Ken Sargent and Fontaine as they get the 2 laps to go, and now Barry Beck to the inside of Kenny Sargent to try to retake that 5th spot.
Here they come off the corner. Reed trying to get by the lap car. Blake Bomberry Sr. One more trip around. Dave Bailey in tow. And it's Fontaine in third, looking to go back-to-back on G-Force TV. Here comes the crazy alien, Pete Reed.
Pete Reed going to take the checkered flag. Dave Bailey comes up 1 spot short of win number 100. Fontaine third, Barry Beck 4th. Ken Sargent rounds out the top 5, and then it's Mike Thorne, Spencer Smolders, Jeff Larmott, who at show is driving the number 19 tonight, followed by Blake Bomberry Jr. and Adam Plazik rounding out the top 10.
3 in a row for the crazy alien here at Humberstone Speedway. The man to beat this year.
Clinton Jeffrey is on his way to Humberstone Speedway Victory Lane in memory of Pete Costco. An ample supply of Quick Wick fire starter product down there as well. But before they celebrate in Victory Lane, they've got to clear the scales.
Again, want to thank Nitro 54 Variety and the Burger Barn for presenting the Fall Classic here at Humberstone Speedway. Again, tomorrow night we'll be back. 6:30 is race time. Spectator gates open at 4:30. Pit gates open at 3:30. And again, for those watching at home, if you want to come and watch live tomorrow night, you do not need vaccination certification to sit outdoors in the main grandstand. So please join us tomorrow night for the final night of racing action here at Humberstone Speedway before they turn things over for the Eve of Destruction in a couple of weeks' time. That's going to be a big card as well here at Humberstone. So check out humberstonespeedway.ca for all the information. Also want to thank Pinty's Delicious Foods, Corpac Merchandising, GR Enviro Rail, the Enviro Niagara Group, S&W Service Center, and Peters Excavating for being sponsors here tonight at Humberstone Speedway as well. So there we see Pete Reed is going to make the turn around the fence and come down here fan side to celebrate in Pete Costco Memorial Victory Lane here at Humberstone Speedway.
And first time the Eve of Destruction will be an evening show here at the Speedway.
Yeah, they're going to burn some stuff down that night. They've got a jet truck coming that evening, and that's going to be quite the sight to see. So they wanted to do it at night so you can really see the effects of the Bone Shaker jet truck as they do the burn down.
I always used to refer to it as the day of wrecking stuff.
Well, it'll be the Eve of Destruction on Saturday,
Yes.
October 16th.
Presented by Attire Metals.
And there's Pete Reed pulling it in. He's got Marvin the Martian strapped to the side rail there inside the cockpit. And he's getting that helmet off, and in just a second we'll send it down to Victory Lane to Clinton Jeffrey. As Pete Reed celebrates again here on G-Force TV.
Well, everybody, Pete Reed getting out of the 05. Put your hands together for him. Spencer, I'm not on the PA out here. Pete Reed out here, ladies and gentlemen. Pete, come on around and have a talk with us here. Pete, you gone back-to-back here on G-Force. That's a good deal, and big hug there. That's what we need to see, Pete. Congrats, man. A great way to end out your year here if you're not coming back tomorrow, but great start to your weekend.
Yeah, great start. Great end to a rocky start this year, and I've been waiting 4 years to get a victory lane with these little guys. I'm so happy right now to have them with me. I'm tearing up a little bit. Yeah, great, nice, clean race with Dave and everything. Thanks again for you guys for everything you do here. Thanks to everybody on the side of this car, everybody that's helped over the years. We've been doing this a long time, and it's nice to have some company here.
Congrats, Pete Reed gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. How about for the 05 as he brings it back here to Humberstone Victory Lane once again.
So when we return to the Action Sprint Tour on track for their 25-lap main event here on G-Force TV.
The People's Choice since 1968.
People's Choice since 1968.
Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC, the People's Choice since 1968.
Hey guys, my name is Jose and welcome to Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC. Today I want to talk to you about what makes us stand out and apart from other GM dealerships. So we're family owned and operated since 1968. In those years, we've been actively involved in our community through numerous endeavors. We're also a proud member of the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. So our GM dealership has won multiple awards throughout the years for sales, parts, and service. So as a thank you to our customers, we have a loyalty rewards program. So any expense that you do at our dealerships will get you points and money. The points you can unlock rewards with, so like details, you get free gift cards once in a while as well. The money you can save up and use for the purchase of your next vehicle. Also, if you show the cards at our local merchants that are partnered with our program, you will get discounts like at Montana's or Turtle Jack's. You get exclusive discounts and promotions. Additionally, we also have a very large lot and inventory, lots of trim levels, lots of colors for you to choose your perfect vehicle. Thank you. Remember to visit us online on QueenstonChev.com or come say hi in person at our dealership so we can show you why we have been the people's choice since 1968.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back live to Humberstone Speedway in Port Colborne, Ontario for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder, along with the Action Sprint Tour, 358 Modified Sportsman, and Street Stocks here on GeForce TV. Greg Kellman, along with Adam Ross, Fran Buschert, and Clinton Jeffrey down trackside here tonight as we get ready for the Action Sprint Tour, a main event starting on the pole. In this one, out of Oshweek, the original Traders Energy, Bickles Hardware and Supply, number 77E, Ashton Van Every. Going from second out of Waynfleet in the Sundance Pressure Washing, Castle Plumbing, BS39, Brett Stratford. Rolling off third from Port Colborne in the Maverick Real Estate, Dow Auto 5D, Jacob Dykstra. And starting in fourth out of Brantford, the National Building Group, JDL Distributing, 49L, Lucas Smith. Starting in fifth out of Rockwood in the Radio Shuttle, Neely Auto 74, it's Rob Neely. And starting in sixth out of Thamesford in the Oakwood Transport, Fast Track Performance 7, Eric Gledhill. Going seventh out of Waterloo in the Velocity Mechanics, ILA Sports 19D, Alan Downey. And rolling off eighth out of Font Hill in the Glow and Go Tanning, Glenholm Motors, Seminac SO08, Stephen Beckett. Starting in ninth out of Hamilton, the Petro Plus Travel Stop, Burger Barn 56 of Derek Lemaire. And to his outside from Freelton in the MS Road Solutions, DJD Graphics 12, DD Darren Dryden. Going from 11th out of Rockwood, Ontario, the Beaver Builders, Neely Auto, number 94 of Ryan Fraser. And going 12th out of Port Perry in the Town Line, Brass, Bondsma Brothers Concrete Pumping 4B, it's Daryl Peltier. Going from 13th out of Mosley in the CarStar Brantford, Bobcat of Brantford 3S, it's Austin Rose. And from 14th out of Oshweeken in the JR's Riverside Bait and Tackle, 77T, Tyler Paulus. Starting 15th from Brantford, the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction, 48 of Lance Erskine. Alongside from Oshweeken, the Hills Tire Sioux Sales 99, Josh Hill. Going 17th out of Mount Bridges, the Vibrant Farms Pride Seeds 45, Nick Sheridan. And going from the 18th spot out of Brighton, the Apex Graphic Design and Printing, car number 39, Jonah Mutton. Going 19th out of Ancaster, the Hallett Home Improvement 51 of Trevor Young. And from 20th, his car number 20 from Six Nations, it's the Iceman, Johnny Miller, in the Styes Tree Service Ride. Going from 21st out of Thamesford, the Oakwood Transport, AV Utility 14 of Larry Gledhill. And starting 22nd out of Six Nations, the True North Bet Nitro 54 Variety 38 of Derek Miller. 23rd starting spot from Oshweeken, the Nitro 54 Variety MK8 of Matt Hill. And alongside from Brampton, the Lifto Limited Toyota Industry Equipment 70mm, Dave McKnight. Starting 25th from Oshweeken, the Canada Fuels Nitro 54 Variety 9C of Brian Nanakoke. And scheduled to go 26th from Bowmanville, the 31, Dale Curran.
Problems for Darren Dryden in the 12 Double D. This is his second lap continuously being pushed by the Nitro 54 push vehicle. I'm kind of surprised he didn't make the right turn last time by to head into the pits, because that car has not even tried to fire. He's still not. I can't say I've ever seen that before, Greg.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull off. I believe they're not going to.
I mean, at this point, forget about your starting spot. You just need to get that car running, like get it into the crew, see if something has come disconnected in the car.
Okay, so they've told him if he doesn't fire by the flag stand, then he'll need to go off. So we'll keep an eye on Darren Dryden. So get set for this 25-lap main event for the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. This is not their final weekend. They have another race tomorrow night here at Humberstone, but then in 2 weeks' time they'll be down at the Fall Nationals at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway for 2 nights of racing. There they'll conclude their season on the Saturday night.
Should be a great weekend down there, Mother Nature permitting. So the challenge here is the field's taking shape pretty much. They're up behind the Brian Cullen Chevrolet Pace truck. So how much time, if you're Darren Dryden and crew, how much time do you have to work on that car to try to get your issues sorted out?
So Ashton Van Every had a good solid run in his qualifier here tonight. Starts on the pole in this one, with Brett Stratford on the outside in the BS39. And I'll tell you what, the crash has not slowed him down. We talk about the big crash down at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. He came back at Merrittville, ran very solidly in that machine, and now he's up there on the outside of the front row here tonight with a good run in his qualifier.
You know, Brett Stratford is every bit a racer. He knows what he's doing. He knows the risks that you take. He's crashed before. It was a spectacular one, but doesn't surprise me that he's back on the horse and ready to get it done here, starting from the front row.
Green flag goes up in the air. Stratford pulls out to the lead. Van Every washes up the track. So Jacob Dykstra, I just did it too, Adam. So there you go. Jacob Dykstra looks to the inside. He'll grab the second spot. Lucas Smith trying to follow through, but Van Every able to pull away from him.
Van Every's been pretty sporty tonight, having a good run in that qualifying heat. Feature racing a little bit different, a greater sense of urgency when the feature rolls out. But out in front right now, it's Brett Stratford in that 39. He's got the best this season. Jacob Dykstra trying to track him down as Van Every almost exited the facility.
Yeah, did a nice job to gather it back up, but he started dropping through the field now in that 77E, but still having a good evening overall as Stratford leads the way over Dykstra and Smith. Gledhill, remember, he was runner-up at Merrittville, lost on the final corner, final lap, and he's running up there in the top 4 again.
Seems to me most of the drivers in this field choosing to run the bottom of the racetrack. As we look around the track, that seems to be where most of them have settled in. Brett Stratford about to lean off the bottom through 1 and 2. As he gets down to 3 and 4, I expect he'll run right along the guardrail, and that's where he is right now. Behind him, of course, Jacob Dykstra trying something. Oh, trouble from one of the front runners in the top 3. Does a 360 in turn number 4, but Eric Gledhill keeps the car going.
And lost 1 spot. Eric Gledhill still in the 5th position. He'll bottle things up behind him, but what a save by Eric Gledhill. He'll run right now in the 5th position.
Out in front, it continues to be Brett Stratford, but he's got company. Jacob Dykstra is right there. Just a couple of car lengths off the tail tank of the 39, and don't look now, but here comes Lucas Smith closing in to make it a 3-car battle for the lead.
And the leaders are about to hit a wild pack of traffic right now. Here comes Dykstra down to the inside of Stratford. Can't make the move there, but here they come bearing down on the slower cars. Dykstra to the outside. Stratford on the bottom. Here they work off the 4th corner at the line. Stratford leads the lap.
Jacob Dykstra will almost always be the more aggressive driver through traffic. That's just his nature. It's how he races. Brett Stratford did a nice job of being patient there and letting the bottom open.
One around in corner 4 on the bottom side. Darrell Pelche will loop it around, brings out the caution flag. Woo! With 8 laps complete, Darrell Pelche goes around to the 4B and puts us under the first caution flag of the event. Couldn't quite pull off with what Eric Gledhill did down there in corner 4. That was an impressive save.
That was a tight 360 too.
Yeah. That deserves scorecards.
I would say so.
9.7.
And the traffic that was around also. That was unbelievable. Very impressive.
Well, guys, down here in turn number 4, doesn't appear to be anything wrong with the Pelche 4B. He's just going to get pushed off, no issues. They're going to get him turned around and fire this one back up.
Yeah, the only challenge there for Pelche, obviously the car pointed in the wrong direction, so the safety crew going to push him backwards into the infield where he can get that car turned the right way as we look at a replay from our speed shot of Gledhill doing that 360 in the turn, and now a shot of Peltier. Fortunate that he spun down towards the inside of the racetrack. It kind of got him out of the path of traffic.
If you're going to do it, I guess that's the place to do it, down low and kind of tucked out of harm's way.
8 down, 7 to go on our VP Fuels lap counter here at the Speedway. Brett Stratford looking very impressive so far, and he, through that lap traffic, really had his hands full of Jacob Dykstra. Lucas Smith running very strong in that 49L.
It's only a matter of time for Brett Stratford. He's going to find victory lane. He's a great racer. But Jacob Dykstra has not been very generous this year. He's not been too willing to share the winner's circle. A lot of wins for that 5D machine this season. How about Lucas Smith in the 49L being pretty much shut out? Quietly, Alan Downey running in the top 5. That's our runner-up in the point standings. And Clinton Jeffrey, what do you got for us?
I was going to remark that Stratford got his career in crates with Dykstra, so these guys, former teammates, going at it for the win here tonight.
It's still worth noting that Jacob Dykstra has less wing cranked into his race car than anybody out there. Like, you see the angle of the top wing, the steeper that angle, the more air is pushing down on the rear tires, which means more grip. But it does slow you down. It slows you down in straight line speed, and Dykstra is pretty streamlined. He's got that wing fairly flat. So does Lucas Smith.
Back to the green flag. Stratford will lead them past the restart cone on the front stretch. Here comes Dykstra around the outside, burns it off the top a little bit, opens up the door for Lucas Smith. 3-car breakaway at the front.
Dykstra sailing it in once again to the high side of 3 and 4. Stratford going to try to battle him. Dykstra clears around the front end of the Stratford 39. He'll take the lead in turn 1.
Now here comes Lucas Smith to the inside of Stratford, wheel to wheel down the back stretch into corner number 3. Stratford will slip up a little bit and let Lucas Smith go by, so put Stratford back to 3rd. Downey running 4th, and Eric Gledhill still hanging on to the 5th spot.
Lots of laps still to go. This is what I want to see. Lucas Smith, does he still have the confidence that he had in that phenomenal 2019 season where he just had a solid year week in and week out racing his way to the front? Can he close in on Jacob Dykstra?
Guys, look at the wing on McNutt. It's folded completely back on him here out of turn 4.
Yeah, here it is as he comes off at corner 4. Dave McKnight's got a super modified look going on in sprint car right now. Cameras can pick up on him at the back.
I saw him do that in the super modified before the wing turned up, and what a crash that was.
Of course, Dave McKnight was in that rollover in the qualifying heat, so they had to put a new top wing on that 70mm, and someone might have left a couple parts off. There you go. There's a good look at it.
It's like
it's a rung what you brung.
Yeah, it's like watching someone whose toupee is flipped up and it's flying backwards in the wind.
That does almost have a super modified look to it.
That's a long sprint car.
Do we have to change his number to 07? Oh, he gets off the banking and still keeps going.
He's not going to give up. So out in front, Jacob Dykstra getting through some of that slower traffic. He's put 2 or 3 lap cars between himself and Lucas Smith. Smith picks off 2 of them. Wow, Dykstra just about sailed it off the end of the back straightaway there in 3 and 4. Holy moly.
Continue to watch Dave McKnight in his Run What You Brung special here. They're going to send him to the pit area.
The M&M special looks like a WW right now.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Strangest thing I've ever seen. Can you imagine coming up behind him?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
And your conversation earlier was about root or wing angles.
Yeah.
He's really got his pitch back.
Trevor Young has quite a pitch on his, looking at his Hallett Home Improvement 51.
Yeah, few drivers have cranked them up. Brett Stratford is pretty steep out there. When the 360s come out, I promise you Holly Porter's will be standing straight up and down for the most part. It just seems to be the go-to for her. Alan Downey has quite a bit of pitch in that 19 wing. So it's all the compromise. Do you want more grip or do you want more top-end speed? Flatten the wing, you get a lot of top-end speed, you give up rear grip.
Setting the unofficial lineup, Jacob Dykstra, Lucas Smith, Brett Stratford, Alan Downey, Eric Whitehill, top 5. Derek Lemaire, Stephen Beckett, Nick Sheridan, Rob Mealy, Ryan Fraser, top 10.
Yeah, I think they switched that around with Neely and Sheridan. Sheridan dropped back behind the 74.
I repeat, unofficially.
Yeah, they got it. Well, if you look at timing and scoring, it's a little, okay, no, it's got Lance Erskine out in front, but everything else seems to be about right. Let's see if Lucas Smith can mount a challenge here on Jacob Dykstra and clean racetrack. He's had a fast car tonight.
I say Stephen Beckett looking more like we expect to see him. He's running right now in that 7th spot, so a good run for the Glow and Go. Tanning 08 as we go back to the green flag.
Dykstra launches out in front, immediately breaks out to about a 10-car length lead over Lucas Smith. Let's see if Smith can close that in. The leader always has the advantage on a restart in the sprint cars.
Stratford now has pressure from behind. It's Alan Downey in the 19D. Eric Gledhill right behind him. That's your top 5 right now. And the battle is between Beckett and Lemaire for 6th spot. Beckett works to the outside in the 08 of the 56 of Derek Lemaire.
Right behind them, it's Rob Neely in the 74 trying to hold off Nick Sheridan. Sheridan gets to the inside. He'll power down the back straightaway to the advantage into 3.
Top 2 now using the outside line and make that 3 and 4. Bottom and 1 and 2. Jacob Dykstra, Lucas Smith, Brett Stratford still your top 3. And here comes the heavy traffic again for Jacob Dykstra.
Whoa, Pelty in the 4B gets right sideways in turn number 4, just ahead of our leader, Jacob Dykstra. Dykstra closes in on that 4B. He'll drive to the inside off of 2.
Get by Pelche now in front are Brian Nanakoke and Jonah Mutton as he works it through corners 3 and 4 on the bottom side this time around. To work to the outside of Mutton. And gets by him into corner number 1 with 5 laps left to go for Jacob Dykstra over Lucas Smith.
Dykstra picking his way through the traffic. He'll drive down to the bottom to get to the inside of Brian Nanakoke. Nanakoke able to keep the speed up on the high side, and then Van Every in the 77 moves up the track and it gives Jacob Dykstra clear passage to the inside.
Heavy traffic out there all the way around the racetrack now as we got one off the banking in corner 2. That's Matt Hill. He'll gather it back up. A little ways in front of leader Jacob Dykstra, who's right in the thick of this.
Yeah, Dykstra trying to weed his way through as he's got 2 laps to go and no idea that he's got 3 cars between himself and second place Lucas Smith. He only knows 1 speed, and that's flat out.
Last lap, Lucas Smith closed a half a second. I think he's given some of that back, though, this time by. White flag is out for Jacob Dykstra over Lucas Smith.
Dykstra through 1 and 2 to the outside of Johnny Miller to put him a lap down. Clear sailing down the back straightaway for Dykstra one more time through 3 and 4, and it'll be checkered flag in the air for another victory for Jacob Dykstra. Coming home second is Lucas Smith. 3rd place gonna go to Alan Downey in the 19D, 4th to Brett Stratford, 5th to Eric Gledhill, 6th through 10th is Stephen Beckett, Nick Sheridan, Derek Lemaire, Dale Curran, and Rob Neely.
That was a great battle for 3rd on the last lap. Downey had it. Stratford took it back in corner 2, and then Downey got him off of corner number 4, so Alan Downey will pick up the 3rd place finish here tonight. And Jacob Dykstra once again will meet us down front here in front of the fans. 10 wins on the year for Jacob Dykstra.
Wow.
Out of 12 starts, Mother Nature has won the second most with 2. Nick Sheridan and Darren Dryden have the other 2 victories.
Second and third for the looks of it, rolling down to victory lane on the front straightaway. Alan Downey, third place finisher in the 19D. Here comes Lucas Smith through turn number 4. He'll make his way down there and be staged in position by Clinton Jeffrey.
Jacob's going to do another victory lap here. Lucas Smith and Alan Downey park it.
And these are three drivers who make it pretty exciting to be sprint car fans right now.
Jacob Dykstra doing a few donuts. Looks like he'll come down to the inside victory lane. We'll talk with the other two on the outside there, but nonetheless, Jacob Dykstra coming down here in front. The fans to celebrate. They got pom-poms and everything at them.
Who does?
Down here. Look. No, down on the screen, down in corner 4.
Look at that.
Fans with pom-poms. Have you ever been greeted with pom-poms?
Well, no. The wheels were turning. I was trying to think of where to go from there. There was nowhere.
It's a Port Colborne thing.
For some reason, when I think of you and pom-poms, I think of Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live.
Those were good skits.
Well, there he is, back in victory lane for the 10th time in 2021. That's what you call domination. Jacob Dykstra down there getting the helmet off, ready to celebrate with the crew. And another hometown victory. He loves winning right here at Humberstone Speedway. Clinton Jeffrey's going to join him here in just a second as the crew's there to celebrate with Jacob. Boy, oh boy. You don't see drivers go on tears like this a whole lot, but when they do, it's something special. And here he is climbing to the car.
Jacob Dykstra gets ready out of the 5D. Ladies and gentlemen, he's home here again. He's done this a bunch this year. Back here to get it done. Crew pounding on the wing. We meet again, Jake. 10 times this year you've dominated. Maybe we just start talking about what 2022 holds for this team. What's the plan for next year, Jacob?
We're planning to go to Florida in February and see how that goes, and we plan to run 360s full-time down at Oshwegan and see if we can pick up any other tour races around here, and probably keep the crate car just so I can. It's a home track, so it's always nice to come here and win.
Let's talk about the run with Stratford, their former teammate on that restart. You blasted it to the outside. It would be very easy to step over that cushion, but you backed her back down, were able to get the win. Talk about the move on Stratford.
I seen he was going to be hugging the bottom. I tried showing him my nose around the top under caution, and he wasn't biting on it. So thought I should just drive it around the top, and if it didn't stick, it didn't stick, but I had to try something, and I definitely wasn't going to follow him. So, yeah, we didn't come here to finish second.
Let's talk about those donuts post-race. You know you got 2 more points races, right?
Yeah, we're going to do them every single race.
All right, there's Jacob Dykstra getting it done, ladies and gentlemen. Hometown kid wins it again. We'll get over and talk to second and third.
Yeah, and always a big celebration here at Humberstone Speedway for Jacob Dykstra and crew. And Clint's going to go over and he's going to talk to Lucas Smith and Alan Downey. And I think even though second place for Lucas Smith is not exactly where he wants to be, after all the airtime he had in the month of September, and I mean up in the air and talking to Clint after a crash, this has got to feel good for Lucas Smith. Clint?
Well, Lucas, like we tell our buddies, make sure you talk to us for the right reasons. This is one of the right reasons, not because you're in the bushes at Maryville, but Greg just mentioned you had an up and down season, literally up more than you were down. Let's talk about this run. A great rebound in your backup car.
Yeah, tonight was, I don't know, it was very unexpected. I came in just with the backup car. We were hoping just to finish, kind of carry through, finish out the season, not tear anything up because we're out of stuff to tear up. And yeah, to come out with a second place in the backup car that we just kind of slapped together this week is just awesome. I can't wait to come back tomorrow and try again.
Good luck, Lucas Smith. Grab second place. We'll jump over here and talk to the university professor, Mr. Alan Downey. Am I supposed to call you Sir Alan?
No, you don't have to do that. Really happy about tonight. I didn't think I got third. I thought maybe Stratford caught me at the end in the fourth. I'm really just super happy with this. We're going in the right direction. I just got to thank the Turners for all their help, especially Ryan Turner's and Jamie Turner have been helping me out the last few months and all summer long. All my sponsors. I want to thank the fans. This is a great crowd. This is one of the best crowds I've seen at Humberstone. Thank you for coming out. Hope to see everyone here tomorrow.
Alan, you know, you're up there in the points as a kid who came out of, you know, iRacing as a fan, and now you're doing it. Jacob is just having a dominant season, but if he wasn't kicking everybody's ass so bad, you might be in this shot. You got to be really proud of the way you're running.
Yeah, we try not to look at points, but I'm sitting second, and I only started sprint car racing 3 years of racing generally. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea when it comes to setup. It's just me and a little crew, and so we're pretty grassroots. So it's amazing to be up here competing with these guys week in, week out.
Congrats, Alan Downey gets it done. We'll be right back here live on G-Force TV with the Sportsman feature coming up. That'll wrap up Victory Lane here with the Action Sprint Tour powered by Pinty's.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV. This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by WeatherTech Custom Cut Floor Mats and Vehicle Accessories. Visit them online at weathertech.ca. Pinty's, making great food fun. Back live at Humberstone Speedway, getting ready for the Dirt Sportsman feature event. And Fran's got the starting lineup.
Row number 1, the 20, Jay Mallory from the St. Catharines. On the outside, the 12P, Emily Petrowski from Port Colborne. Row 2, the 1F of Ryan Ferry from Port Dalhousie. The 66P of Jeff Pinty from Port Colborne. Row 3, the 72, James Michael Friesen from St. Catharines, as is the 18-hour Brad Rouse. Row number 4, the 18L of Adam Leslie from Waynfleet. The 8S of Justin Sharp from St. Catharines. Row 5, the 7 of Cody McPherson from St. Catharines. The 74 Taylor Vanderzanden from Fenwick. Row 6, the 5S of Matt Sharp from Port Colborne. The 99P of Greg Pinty from Port Colborne. Row number 7, the 35 of William Racine from Quebec. The 2K of Rob Knapp from Niagara Falls. Row 8, the 3N of Noah Mammo from Ridgeway. The 21P, Tyler Pachelski from Port Colborne. Row 9, the 13M, Dan McKay from Ridgeway. In the 108, Billy Bleach from Port Robinson. We are going to go green.
We'll get to the rest of that starting lineup as things sort themselves out. But up front is Jay Mallory over Pachelski. Mallory going to lead down the back straightaway with Ryan Ferry right on his back bumper.
Here we go. First time across the stripe. The leader at the line is going to be the mongrel, Jay Mallory. McKinney pull number 20 side by side behind him. Ferry right now has the spot in the one as it looks like Jeff Pinty skates it off the banking in 2.
Pinty keeps the power down the back straightaway, trying to get back on the racetrack, and he just about gets punted right back off the racetrack.
Mallory out in front over Ferry. Then it's Emily Pachelski riding in the 3rd spot as we got John Baby and Slow here on the front stretch. And fans here in the tower waving. Get off the track. And he's going to bring out the caution.
The yellow flag will fly. I believe that's a flat right front tire, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or he's in the really soft mud down there.
That is definitely flat on the bottom.
You got it.
I think technically it's flat all the way around, but we only see it on the bottom. I told you, Fran. Yep. Everybody gets it up here. We've ruined so many careers this year.
Mostly just ours.
And getting through the rest of the lineup, moving up from the Consi, the 68 of Curtis Friesen out of St. Catharines, the 74F of Dave Flanagan Jr. from St. Catharines, row 11, the 62, John Babian, who just brought out the first caution, then the 49, the big dog, Bill Gill out of Fort Erie, row 12, this 174 of Chris Storm from St. Catharines, and the 24C of Cameron Lane from St. Catharines.
Cameron Lane fought hard to get into the show. Picked up that last transfer spot. But Adam Leslie right alongside Brad Rouse. So that doesn't get confusing.
We've already been down that road with me.
Adam in the black and Brad Rouse in the white. Bellinger Electric sponsor of both of those cars.
So again, tomorrow night, race time 6:30 at Humberstone Speedway. All the same divisions, except we'll add the mini stocks. It's also the duel on the dirt finale for both the mini stocks and street stocks. So 6:30 start time. We'll have it live here on G-Force, but by all means, if you want to join us here in person in Port Colborne, Ontario, you can do so. It's a pretty easy trip to get here, right on Highway 3 and just outside of Port Colborne. Love to have you here tomorrow night. Final chance in this region to see some dirt track action. Of course, Brockville, Ontario Speedway in a couple of weeks for the Fall Nationals. They'll have some great action down that way as well. But for the Niagara region, this is it. Tomorrow night, 6:30 here at Humberstone Speedway.
And if you think the pits are full tonight, we add another class. As you mentioned, Greg, in the minis, LMA's meets 62. John Babian pulls back out with a quick pit stop. Dave Babian with the tire change on that car.
Yeah, that'll be a jam-packed program tomorrow night.
6:30 start tomorrow.
Here we go. Back to the green flag. 3 laps on the scoreboard, 27 to go. And Jay Mallory will lead the thundering pack down into corner number 1.
James Michael Friesen with a good launch from the 4th position. He'll pick up the 3rd spot, immediately go to work on Ryan Ferry and the 1F. Ferry up to the high side. Friesen will take it around the guardrail.
What action all throughout this pack here in that first restart lap. Here is Friesen side by side with Ferry. Friesen edges ahead just a little bit, going into corner number 3, all the while keeping the mongrel Jay Mallory in sight. Here comes Adam Leslie in that 4th position with Brad Rouse right on his tail.
Yeah, Leslie with a lot of speed. Same with Brad Rouse, running the same line around the inside of 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, James Michael Friesen has cleared the Ferry number 1. Adam Leslie gets around the inside as Brad Rouse saw his run blocked. He went to the high side and Ferry struggled up in that outside groove.
3 wide through corner number 2 with right now Leslie getting shot through the middle towards the 5th spot. And Rouse somehow comes out of that 3rd, Ferry to 4th, and now Leslie 5th. What an exchange there through 1 and 2.
Right behind Leslie, it's Cody McPherson in that number 7. He's been quick all season long. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he can charge towards the front. A little further back, they're 3 wide, deeper in the top 10.
22 laps left to go in this one. Here comes Friesen, sticks the nose down to the inside of the 20 machine as they head down the backstretch now. Tucks back in line. Now he looks to the outside in corner number 3. Here comes JMF, hauling the mail off of 4.
That Bobcat of Hamilton, number 72, slings to the outside into 1 and 2. That opens the bottom for Brad Rouse. And now James Michael Friesen can see it's not just a 2-horse race at the front. He'll swing it to the outside in 3 and 4. Can he get the run to the high side?
Not a good run, but doesn't lead the lap. Jay Mallory still the leader as he runs the bottom side. He's got Brad Rouse tucked up in behind him. Now they're going to make it 3 wide down the backstretch into corner number 3. Rouse on the bottom looking to go from 3rd to 1st.
Jay Mallory, man, he did a nice job to stay off of both of those race cars that he was driving beside there. Friesen with the lead. It might be short-lived as Rouse is fast around the bottom.
Here comes Rouse on the inside of corner number 3. Friesen, though, has it wound up on the outside line. Across the stripe, JMF leads it another time.
James Michael Friesen is fast through 3 and 4, but turn 1 and 2, it's just a hard place to make the high side work. Let's see if he commits to the outside, if he's able to make a move on Rouse, but Rouse moves up to block his line.
Yeah, it goes up in that exact same lane now. They go low in 1 and 2, high in 3 and 4. We're halfway home in this one. It's Rouse out in front over JMF.
Brad Rouse by about 5 car lengths now over James Michael Friesen as they approach some slower traffic. Cameron Lane in that 24 going to go a lap down, and Rouse driving away right now in the 18 machine. James Michael Friesen can only hope for either a yellow for some of that slower traffic to slow down our race leader.
I'll apologize. Originally it was advertised as 30 laps, but it looks like it was a 25-lap main event tonight for the 358s as we got one off the banking in corner number 2.
Cameron
Stay
Lane
into the green with 10 laps left to go.
Rouse to the inside of Gill. Now he'll look to the inside of Babian and then head to the outside down into turn number 3. James Michael Friesen gets to the inside of Gill. He will close in on the 18 of Rouse.
Action all the way around this racetrack right now as battles going on in front of the leaders. 3 wide and a couple of battles out there right now.
Oh, trouble.
The late parts, so you got a tangle in corner number 4. Storm lets up just as Brad Rouse was bearing down.
Brad Rouse with heads up. A good racer always looks well ahead of the race car, and Brad Rouse looked up and saw Billy Bleach and Jeff Benante tangled. And was able to get to the bottom. Storm did make a little bit of contact. You could see the cars move as he backs up that 174. Excuse me, gentlemen. Pardon me.
This might be a difficult separation by the looks of it.
And it's a good thing Mr. Storm's brakes were in very good condition.
He got pretty much entirely wound up. Excuse me.
You all right there?
I don't know.
Well, Clint's got Ryan down there with the camera. And we're going to have a look at these 2 cars intertwined, like literally.
Yeah.
They're sharing the same right front wheel.
If we were square dancing, is this the do-si-do part? Yeah.
Well, guys, as we look at the damage here, I don't see a ton of damage just yet. Yes, they are together here, tire on tire, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. Once the CAA crew, these guys have dealt with this a lot over the years here. You got some of the most veteran towing folks in racing here. Billy Tripp and Jimmy. Okay, I see a flat right front on the Bleach 108, so he's at least going to need a new sneaker on the right front. We'll see what happens here on the Pinty 66 car. It appears to be all right.
I'll never doubt him again. Clinton, Greg, and I were up here looking like, what is he smoking? It looked like the right front of Pinty was driven right back in the car, but it was actually the right front of the other car.
Bleach.
That's him.
That was deceiving. I need to see a replay on the 2 wheels interlocked. Here's the replay on them spinning and interlocking wheels. That looked horrible at first, and I'm thinking, what's he talking about? Not damage. It made so much more sense when they lifted the front end of the car.
Clint, I would tell you I'll never doubt you again, but I would be lying.
So they're going to let the Bleach 108 down. He will drive it into the pits under his own power, and then the Pinty car will move its way out. We do have a little bit of fluid down here on the Speedway. Looks like it's out of the coolant part of the car, but shouldn't be an issue here for Pinty. They should be able to fire this one up and head back without issue, but Bleach is going to need a right front.
Here we'll have a look from our turn 1 camera, and Storm just whoa Nelly. And then all the lead lap cars heading through.
Got to give a shout out to Ryan Ferry. He's having a fine run. A couple weeks ago at Merrittville, he led all but the last 2 laps. A caution cost him a feature win, and running a solid 4th United Rentals 1F.
Yeah, good run indeed for Ryan Ferry. And I remember this class of racers when they were so young coming up out of karting. And they've really maintained that. Like they're getting older, but that same group is still out here putting on shows week in and week out. Take some of the older guard, the Jay Mallory in the 20 machine, maybe the Brad Rouse, but he's by no means a seasoned driver. He's still got some youth in him.
And talking about the Ferry family, that is a family that goes rich in tradition. Ryan, the late Adam. I forget the first name of the one that went into NASCAR racing.
Is it Dean?
Dean Ferry, yes, thank you. You had Bruce, Richard, and Jim Ferry in the 70s that competed. There is a rich family and tradition here at the Speedway.
They are all very fast.
Yes, absolutely. Whoops, we got a little dispute for position there between
Curtis Friesen and Dave Flanagan. Looks like they got that sorted out. Friesen belongs on the outside of the row ahead. Flanagan will drop down to the bottom. We're going to set them loose out of turn 4. Brad Rouse in the 18, the 72 with James Michael Friesen. Then Jay Mallory in the 20, who led the early laps of this one. 17 laps are complete, 8 laps remain.
And Cody McPherson sitting right there.
Back to the green flag. Brad Rouse jumps out ahead of James Michael Friesen. Here comes Mallory back on the inside, but it's Friesen able to pull away, and now Mallory having to deal with Ferry and McPherson.
One car in trouble up off of turn number 2. I don't know if that'll bring out a yellow or not. On the roadway headed off towards the pits.
Stay under the green flag so far, and it's a long ways off. It's on that Jersey barrier off of corner number 2, so out of harm's way, I guess they're saying for the moment. As we're coming down, it'll be, nope, we're going to go under the caution flag.
It was okay for the first lap.
Yeah. Emily Pacholski. Pull away.
Canadian Tire, King Street Laundry, Tidy Man Maintenance, 12P from right here in Port.
Pacholski's trailer just off the track exit there in turn number 2, so from a distance we can see that they've immediately gone to work. Can't tell from this distance what exactly they're doing, but I can tell the flag being waved from the flag stand is the white flag, Greg, and that means we're going to go.
Yeah, crew chief stepfather Jeff Armstrong and Jerry over there working on the 12P. Apparently they got it ready.
Yeah, Pacholski gets service. She will head back towards the racing surface as the field prepares to launch down the back straightaway through 3 and 4. Brad Rouse continues to lead the way.
Back to the green flag we go. 6 laps left to settle it. Here's Cody McPherson. He gained a spot on that last restart. He's in 4th, working to the outside of Jay Mallory. Down the back stretch they go.
James Michael Friesen took a mighty swing on the outside of 1 and 2. Couldn't get it done, but it was a hell of an effort by the driver of the number 72.
McPherson still trying to get around Mallory. Now here comes Ferry to the inside of the Lucky 7 machine. They're in the 4th and 5th spots right now as across the stripe this time by. It'll be 4 laps left to go for Brad Rouse.
Just 4 laps remaining, and the racing in the middle of this pack is intense. 2 wide, 3 wide, all throughout this pack, but at the front, Brad Rouse has built up a nice bit of breathing room over James Michael Friesen. About 6-7 car lengths is his lead with 3 laps to go.
McPherson still right behind Mallory as they work down in 1 and 2. The 20 has the spot. Lucky 7 right in tow. Ryan Ferry holding on to 5th. 2 to go.
2 sticks in the air means 2 laps left. The battle for 3rd is heating up. Cody McPherson closing in on Jay Mallory further back. They're still all over the racetrack. Everybody looking for racing room. Justin Sharp trying to close in for a top 5 finish, but Ryan Ferry looking good in that spot right now.
Final trip around as the leader goes through corner number 2. There's the battle for the third spot. Cody McPherson not able to make it work down there in corner number 2 as the checkers come out.
Coming home for the win, it's going to be Brad Rouse in the 18. James Michael Friesen second, and Mallory McPherson, Ferry Sharp, Leslie Penante, Knapp, and Tyler Vanderzanden rounding out the top 10.
And that will be Brad's second win of the season here at the Speedway, winning back on week 5.
Who would have thought Brad Rouse with only 2 wins on the year? I mean, which is a pretty good season. You know, if you can break into the winner's circle at all, you're doing well. But Brad Rouse is used to many visits to victory lane.
So Brad Rouse will go across the scales over in the pit area. We'll talk to him in just a moment down here in Victory Lane. 2 features yet to come. The Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 sprint cars are up next. They're lined up over there in the pit area. And then we'll go to the 358 modifieds. They will be the final feature of the evening. Again, don't forget to join us again tomorrow night, both here on G-Force Live, 6:30 start time. Or if you want to join us here in the crowd, you can do so. Grandstand gates open at 4:30. Racing starts at 6:30. Pits open at 3:30. It's going to be jam-packed. Everything you've seen here tonight, plus mini stocks on the card. Duel in the Dirt finale for both the street stocks and mini stocks. And it's the final race of the year for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series as they'll crown their first ever champion. Again, the Action Sprint Tour, they'll crown their champ down at Brockville, Ontario Speedway. There's Rick Young down there. Hi, Rick. He's here because there's modifieds. He's not a sprint car fan.
Rick Young. Derek Smith is here because there's race cars.
Yes.
And just a reminder, too, if the racing will be live here with G-Force, if you've got a cell phone or anything, you could watch G-Force Live, pick up all the replays of action taking place here as we see it up here on the monitor.
Great point, Fran. As Brad Rouse works his way down towards victory lane, a hard-earned win here at Humberstone Speedway. The Bellinger electric car wheels its way into victory lane where Brad Rouse will start to get his safety gear off.
Tight confines inside one of these modifieds.
That's a great view from the camera, though, definitely. Thank you, G-Force.
It's got to be probably the most difficult car to get in and out of, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you might be right, although some of these asphalt late models, and you look at these NASCAR cars where the opening in the cage is so small for these drivers to wiggle through. Like Jimmy Spencer wouldn't stand a chance anymore.
Well, guys, he's got his helmet off. He climbs out of the 18R. How about it for your feature winner here in the Sportsman Division tonight? Brad Rouse gets it done. Congrats, Brad. Second visit to Victory Lane here at Humberstone this year. You know, how would you say your season gone? Been a good year? Tough year?
Yeah, we've been a good year. We brought this car out there about 7 or 8 races ago, and we haven't finished out of the top 5 with it. So we pretty impressed with it, and just keep fine-tuning, and hopefully we can get it even better. Go to Cornwall next weekend.
Track looked pretty good out there for you guys. You and James Michael having a good battle. A couple times he tried to throw it to the outside, but this 18R just too tough on the bottom tonight.
Yeah, there was so much bite on the bottom. I tried it earlier on the top, and you know what? It was a good race and nice clean race and everything. And I just got something to say to Adam. He can fit in this if I can fit in it.
there you go. They are listening to you, Adam. Brad, let's quickly talk. You've raced here for eons. What about the improvements here at Humberstone? It's been amazing to see what's gone on here this year.
No, it's amazing. Terry's done a really good job here. The track every week's been racy, 2-3 grooves every week. Just, you know what, getting the show done at a decent time and putting some fans in the stands, and it's pretty good to see for sure.
Good luck next week at Cornwall, Brad.
Thank you.
Brad Rouse, ladies and gentlemen, your Sportsman feature winner here tonight.
We'll be back in just a moment with the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car feature here on G-Force TV.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
The people's choice since 1968.
People's choice since 1968.
Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC, the people's choice since 1968.
Hey guys, my name is Jose and welcome to Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC. Today I want to talk to you about what makes us stand out and apart from other GM dealerships. So we're family owned and operated since 1968. In those years, we've been actively involved in our community through numerous endeavors. We're also a proud member of the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. So our GM dealership has won multiple awards throughout the years for sales, parts, and service. So as a thank you to our customers, we have a loyalty rewards program. So any expense that you do at our dealerships will get you points and money. The points you can unlock rewards with, so like details, you get free gift cards once in a while as well. The money you can save up and use for the purchase of your next vehicle. Also, if you show the cards at our local merchants that are partnered with our program, you will get discounts like at Montana's or Turtle Jack's. You get exclusive discounts and promotions. Additionally, we also have a very large lot and inventory, lots of trim levels, lots of colors for you to choose your perfect vehicle. Thank you. Remember to visit us online on QueenstonChev.com or come say hi in person at our dealership so we can show you why we have been the people's choice since 1968.
This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by RS1, 99.9% pure top-grade methanol, the official fuel of the Action Sprint Tour. BestWayBetting.com, where the dreaming is easy. Ready to go feature racing with the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series here on GeForce TV. Main event ready to go as they start to get pushed off. Here's the starting lineup for tonight's 25-lap feature event. Starting from the pole out of Dunnville, the Kingpin Farms Burger Barn number 91, Ryan Turner, to his outside from Fenwick. The Oshwegan Speedway Race Source Enrium Dynamics number 0, Jim Hoopinen. Going from third out of Beachville in the Castrol Edge to Groot Hill Chevrolet, Quick Firestarter. Car number 5, DJ Christie, and to his outside from Oshwegan, the Oshwegan Speedway Race Source Case IH number 68 of Aaron Turkey. Starting in 5th out of Binbrook in the Nitro 54 variety, Creative Edge Science and Graphics number 9, it's Liam Martin. And rolling off 6th from Beamsville in the J&E Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax 88H, Josh Hansen. Starting in 7th out of Caister Center in the Charlie B. Honey Mudcat Entertainment Center number 11, it's Jamie Turner. And going from 8th, the point leader from St. Matthew de Belleville, Quebec, in the four-season forming Mega Pumping 28, Jordan Poirier. Starting in 9th from Tilsonburg, the Petro Plus Travel Stop, Burger Barn number 13, Corey Turner. And his outside going 10th from Hamilton, the Instant Insulation Best Way Betting 01K, Mikey Krutchka. Going 11th from Oshwegan, the Nitro 54 variety number 15 of Dan Nanakoke. And going from the 12th spot from Charing Cross, the ERW Contracting, KC Cuts 9B is Scott Burke. 13th starter from Scotland, Ontario, the Instapanel Sty Tree Service 87X of Sean Evans. And to his outside going 14th from Grimsby in the Bowens Automotive Image Factor number 90 is Travis Cunningham. 15th place, that's where we'll find Chris Jones from Picton, Ontario in the Jones Automotive Car Quest number 11J. 16th from Dorchester, the Malcolm Mills Mill Riding Oshwegan Speedway number 1 of Holly Porter. Starting in 17th out of Niagara Falls in the Signal 88 Security EMS Towing number 70, it's Bailey Hurd. And alongside of him from Brantford in car number 27, it's Paul Ballantyne. Starting in 19th from Caledonia, the Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction number 18 of Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne. And scheduled to go from 20th from Picton, the Terry's Taxi Elbrook Excavating 84, it's Tyler Rand, who I don't believe has made the call. Oh, yes, he is. He's out there on the backstretch. There he is. Tyler Did not make the call for the qualifying heat, but he is here and ready to go for tonight's 25-lap main event.
It's been a well-supported series, Greg. Just about every race we've had, most of these drivers have participated. A couple of exceptions, but it's definitely been solid numbers week in and week out. Is this the first race Kevin Pauls hasn't been to?
I think he missed another one, maybe the Brighton weekend or one of the others. But, yeah, usually Kevin Pauls has been on the scene, learning his craft and doing a good job at it.
Great group of drivers traveling the province to compete. DJ Christie has been a surprise this season with a couple of victories, in that bright yellow number 5. Jordan Poirier, with lots of wins, has been no surprise. Ryan Turner got to victory lane. Could we see a new winner?
White flag is out next time by. We're going to go green flag racing with Ryan Turner. Jim Hoopinen on the front row. Pace truck creeps down the backstretch, ready to go for this 25-lap main event. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show? Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. They rumble, bumble, stumble down through 1 and 2. Out in front, it's Ryan Turner over Jim Hoopinen. Down the back stretch they go with Aaron Turkey in tow.
TJ Christie in that number 5. It looks like that car is a handful here in the early going of this one. Rounding out the top 5 is Jamie Turner in the 11. He's under attack from the 88 of Josh Hansen. And don't look now, but here comes Jordan Poirier up to 4.
Aaron Turkey slid off the track, and there goes DJ Christie around in corner number 3. A rare mistake by the rookie here in 2021 will cost him a good top 5 right now.
Well, I had said it looked like he was struggling with the handling. It's just like that. He would drive it into the corner, and you expect that wing, you expect the tires to kind of catch you there, and the car just looked twitchy. So DJ Christie, the Castrol Edge, quick fire starter number 5, will have to restart at the tail of the field.
An argument over position between Corey Turner and Liam Martin as well back there. So we see DJ Christie up over the banking there, and as I said, a rare mistake by the rookie here in 2021. He comes in with 2 feature wins this year.
When we go back to green, I think this would be as good a time as any for a quick fire it up. As we have a look at the replay from our front stretch. Speed shot, just sails it down into the corner and couldn't catch the back end of that race car. Comes around on him. Fortunately, he didn't flop it over. He didn't get collected. And here he goes back onto the racing surface, where he'll be pushed off and rejoin the tail end of the field.
6 wins this year for Jordan Poirier, 2 for Jim Hoopinen, 2 for DJ Christie, and 1 for Ryan Turner.
Victories have been a little more evenly distributed in the 360 sprints, although you would say that Jordan Poirier has been dominant if it wasn't for the Action Sprint Tour, where Jacob Deitcher has shown us what domination really means.
White flag is out.
Just while I got a second to say, seeing this new lighting for the first time, this is so impressive, and what a difference it really makes here at the Speedway.
Isn't that something, Frank? Like, it's got to make you feel something inside. You've been coming here since you were a kid, and to see this looks like a ready for prime time facility. Quick, fire it up, coming right up. Enjoy the sights and sounds of the Knights of Thunder sprint cars presented by Pinty's.
Our most recent winner is out in front. Ryan Turner won at Merrittville Speedway back on September the 17th. He's out in front over the guy he's chasing in the points. Jordan Poirier just moved by Jamie Turner for the second spot. 5 laps on the board this time by. It'll be 6 laps complete for Ryan Turner.
Watching Travis Cunningham in that black and silver number 90. When he's not racing that sprint car, you can find him behind the microphone here in Humberstone and over at Merrittville Speedway sometimes. Cunningham trying to work his way through this pack, but he was miserable in the qualifying heat. The car looks a lot better here in the feature event. Meanwhile, out in front, Ryan Turner's last lap was a 15.8. Jordan Poirier's last lap was a 15.7. So Poirier is a little bit faster than our race leader, but not by much.
Turner works around Paul Ballantyne in the 27. Good to see that car back on track. Paul drove it in years gone by. Then Jamie Collard got to drive that car and actually picked up a Patriot Sprint Tour win here back in the day. In that very same yellow and black 27.
Ryan Turner closing the distance on Chris Jones in the 11, who's in a battle with Holly Porter in that number 1. So Turner will quietly be hoping they get that sorted out before he reaches the back end of these two drivers. He'll head up to the outside of the racetrack. So Turner trying to feel his way around a couple different lines here on the racetrack.
And here he comes. He'll run low through corner number 2, trying to catch Chris Jones, who's got Holly Porter directly in front of him. Turner this time right down along the guardrail as he closes in on this battle at the back.
As he closes in on that battle, Jordan Poirier closing that gap. Now he was about quarter of a second quicker than our race leader Ryan Turner last time. As we close in on traffic and we look at Josh Hansen in that 88, the brake rotor glowing cherry red on the 88 machine.
Yeah, throwing out all sorts of sparks. He's got the 4th spot right now, riding behind Jamie Turner. So having a good run, but boy, that's a lot of sparks out of the brakes of the 88H.
We've got a visitor for the lead. Jordan Poirier is closed in on Ryan Turner. Turner all bottled up as he closes in on traffic. Things went his way for Ryan Turner as they got bottled up in front of him. He was able to get to the inside. Jordan Poirier looking for racing room. You could see he had to bite the brakes off of turn 2.
If Ryan didn't know he's there, he knows he's there now because Jordan Poirier leads the lap. They're boxed in behind cars running side by side. Still trapped behind Holly Porter and Chris Jones, who are wheel-to-wheel down the backstretch. Turner back in front. He'll go to the outside of the one of Holly Porter.
Jordan Poirier checks up there for Ryan Turner as they split Holly Porter off at turn number 4.
What a battle for the lead as now they're on the back end of the 70 of Bailey Hurd. Poirier just out in front of Ryan Turner, bearing down on more lap traffic. Here comes Poirier to the outside. Turner on the bottom.
9 laps to go as Jordan Poirier swings around the outside of Bailey Hurd. Ryan Turner going to point the car to the bottom of the racetrack. Try to take the short way around the number 70, but Jordan Poirier is pulling away.
That shut the door on Turner, and he'll lose some ground to Jordan Poirier, who's now down to the inside of Chris Jones. Across the stripe they go another time. Turner's cleared Bailey Hurd, now sets his sights on the 28.
Poirier now with a couple of cars between himself and Ryan Turner out in front. He'll head up to the outside of Tyler Rand through 3 and 4.
Another time by the stripe. 7 laps left to go for the point leader, Jordan Poirier. He's gaining ground, but gets bottled up now behind Dan Nanakoke. Had to lift a little bit there.
There might have been some contact between Poirier and Dan Nanakoke in 1 and 2. He'll send it down the outside in 3 and 4 and try to clear that black and yellow number 15.
Turner working the inside line, still trying to get by Chris Jones. He's been a tough adversary to get by here and put him a lap down, and here they go by him. Of course, Jones already a lap down to the leader, but Ryan Turner is just still not able to get by him.
Giving him fits right now as he clears Jones and then has to slow down for Tyler Rand, which allows Chris Jones back around the outside of the number 91.
Lap traffic playing havoc right now with the runner-up driver as Poirier not having much luck getting by Evans and Burke either. It's been a tough race getting by. Lap traffic now. Poirier gets the run on Scott Burke and will try to clear both cars down the backstretch.
A little bit of clear racetrack for Jordan Poirier as Ryan Turner clears through the Nanakoke Grand and Chris Jones' mess. He's about half a straightaway behind with 3 laps remaining.
Leader goes down the backstretch, and he's got some clear sailing. The next car in sight, DJ Christie, was not able to get too far through the field here. He's, in fact, right now in 11th. 2 laps left to go for Jordan Poirier.
Further back, Jim Hoopinen gets off the track off of turn number 2. That'll allow Travis Cunningham to close in. Cunningham running in the 8th spot. He has given a position back to Liam Martin and the 9 machine, but what a great battle as the white flag flies.
Poirier sends it down into corner number 1 for the final time. White flag to the field. Ryan Turner a straightaway behind, looking for win number 7 off of corner number 4. The point leader, Jordan Poirier, picks up the win.
Poirier for the win. Ryan Turner going to come home in the 2nd spot. Corey Turner looks like he's going to finish 3rd. 4th goes to Jamie Turner. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for the Turners. Then it's Josh Hansen 5th, Liam Martin 6th, Travis Cunningham 7th, Jim Hoopinen 8th, DJ Christie 9th, and Mike Krutchka 10th. And I believe that's all the cars that were on the lead lap.
So Jordan Poirier does it again, win number 7 on the year, his 7th sword that he'll pick up and take back to the province of Quebec as he goes pit side to go over the scales, and then we'll see him down here trackside. How about the Turner family? Ryan 2nd, Corey 3rd, and Dad Jamie in 4th. I mean, one of them didn't win, but I don't know as though I've ever seen them finish 3 in a row that far up. We almost have to have 4 on the podium tonight.
Yeah, solid result for sure, as it looks like Ryan Turner heading up behind the fence. So we'll bring them all down here to victory lane. Corey Turner staying on the racetrack. They'll get it sorted out as Clinton Jeffrey comes across the track and heads into victory lane. The challenge here is there's no push vehicle. There we go, with the ATV able to get through to go up and grab Jordan Poirier, push him down to victory lane.
In the case of the Turners, 3 was not a crowd. That was impressive. But who could be more impressive than Jordan Poirier?
And thankfully, it looks like the entire field should be ready to do battle again tomorrow night. That's always something you think about in these doubleheader weekends.
So Poirier gets down to Pete Costco Memorial Victory Lane. He's not even going to take the helmet out. He's going to come out and celebrate here at Humberstone.
Well, Jordan Poirier out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about it? All the way from Quebec, getting it done here again. Been very dominant here, just as dominant as Jacob Dykstra has in the Action Sprint Tour. Jordan over here getting his gear off. We'll get him out front in just a moment. Tony Spiteri down here with another sword for Jordan Poirier. Jordan, another great drive. Tony's in here with the sword. Tony, get in there from Pinty's. He has dominated this season. One more race to go. The championship to be decided tomorrow. Jordan, you've got a good lead coming into it. You did what you had to do again tonight. Doubleheader here at home. You got to be pretty happy. This is kind of like your Ontario home track. You've dominated here.
Yeah, Humberstone, I like it. I was worried a bit with Jim and Ryan starting 1 and 2. I was starting 8. I didn't know what to do. The track was just clear for me. I feel like my car was really, really good. We decided to change right rear bar just before the feature. It was just a rocket for real. Car was on rail, man. I can't thank enough anybody that helped us, everybody that came with me, my sponsor, Tony for Pinty's for putting this on. It's really crazy to have such a good season this year. Oh, man, I got no words.
One night to go, Jordan. Good luck tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
Jordan Poirier going to try and wrap up the first ever Knights of Thunder Championship here tomorrow night and pick up the $5,000 for the big check, along with the $2,000 he picked up tonight. Guys, pretty good start to the weekend for Jordan Poirier.
Fantastic start. And for those wondering that maybe haven't tuned in earlier in the year, Jordan is the nephew of Steve Poirier, not the son as some may think, but how about that? Jordan Poirier, yet another sword to take home to Quebec.
Yeah, it's not the same sword they use week after week. No. There are all different swords. So he's going to build a picket fence at home, I hear.
Well, guys, got Ryan Turner. Ryan, you had a very spirited battle, but Jordan has elevated the game of the entire class around here this year. You guys were going at it. You kind of got hung up behind some lap traffic. He was able to run away. Still second place. Really good run tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, he's definitely pushed us all year. It only makes us better, him showing up and coming and doing that, because I thought I would have had a pretty good car till the 28 went by me there. So it means we need to do better, and it just makes us all better in the field. So he had a great run, and I tried to hold him off, but he's just a little too quick there.
Track looked pretty good, though. They've done a great job with the surface. I mean, you cut your street stock career here. How do you think the Speedway is this year?
Very good. Smooth. It's got grip. Multiple lanes. You can't complain when it's smooth like this and you're not banging up cars.
Anything you can do to get that one more spot tomorrow?
I don't know. We're going to try. We got a couple of things we got to work on. We were closer tonight, but need a little bit more.
Ryan Turner finishes second. His brother Corey will finish third. Corey, great run for the Burger Barn team here. Second and third. I know you want to be 1 and 2, but second and third is nothing to shake a stick at with the quality of field we have here this year.
Yeah, you know what? We've got a really good quality field. My brother's been going a lot better this year. Jordan, Jordan's Jordan. He's absolutely kicking ass. But you know what? These tracks that really bring out the drivers here, and you know what? Even my dad was going good tonight. My mom threatened him with retirement this week, and he was really on the wheel. So it's good to see him. I think he finished fourth. But we really got to thank Jay, Celeste, their family, Petro Plus, Pesky, Penguin, Burger Barn. We've got really, really great stuff. My guys worked their butts off tonight, changed the master cylinder before the heat and the feature, and we're really blessed to have as many quality guys as we have behind us. And I got to say hi to my wife's parents, my grandma, as well as my mom's parents watching at home. So we'll be back tomorrow night, and hopefully we can get to the top step.
Good luck, Corey. Right to tech. We'll be right back with a quick break here on G-Force TV. The 358 Modified feature coming up to cap off the program at the Fall Classic here at Humberstone.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Back live at Humberstone Speedway, final feature of the night, the 358 Modifieds.
And a quick run through the lineups. Row number 1, 96 of Freddie Carlton, the 88 of Shane Pierce. Row 2, the 01 of Chris Raby, and the 777 of Tyler Willard. Row 3, 71 Mike Bowman, the 37S, Gary Lindbergh. Row 4, Austin Wood, and the 1XP, the 38 of Scott Wood. Row 5, the 25, and that's Steve Bernier, and the 96 of Luke Carlton. Row 6, 82 of Shane. I went blank on that one.
Tommy Flanagan.
Tommy Flanagan, thank you. And the 1P of Darren Peters. Row 7, 72 of Tanner Podwinski. The 2 of Derek Van Mill. Row 8, the 96L of JF Corvo, and the 72B of Bill Podwinski. Brian Page, and the 43, Tom Neal, Todd Gordon, and the 12 of Chad Chevalier.
No, you go.
You go. Carlton on the bottom, Pierce on the outside. Who's going to lead the lap?
Looked like Shane Pierce by a nose as Luke Carlton in the black 96 with a bit of a problem. He slides to the tail end of the field. Freddie Carlton noses out front on the back straightaway, but Shane Pierce again up on the high side. He'll get that run off of turn number 4, and Pierce continues to lead.
Here comes the 0-1 rather of Chris Raby, gets boxed up behind Fred Carlton. Carlton slow down the backstretch. Willard's going to go by him. Here comes Bowman to the outside of the 96. And on the outside, is that Bernier working it? No, that's, Gary Lindberg in the 37.
Gary Lindberg in the 37 working his way up on the outside, battling for the third spot. But out in front, it's Shane Pierce and that 88 machine off to a flying start.
Here he comes across the stripe another time, putting 4 laps on the scoreboard here at Humberstone Speedway. Final feature of the night, the small block modifieds.
Tyler Willard just crossed over Gary Lindberg. That was close to contact on the front stretch. Down at 1 and 2, they're close. 3 and 4. Willard up high, Lindberg down low.
So it's Pierce, Raby, Lindberg, and Willard still side by side for the third spot. Bowman holding down fourth. And then Scott Wood back there in that number 38 spot. Sorry, Bowman's back in the 5th position right now.
Chris Raby closing in on Shane Pierce to battle for the lead. Raby running that bottom groove right along the inside line. Shane Pierce still up on the high side, slinging it around the top of the racetrack.
Been a long time since he's been here, but Chris Raby putting the pressure on, and he leads that lap right there. Lap number 7, still side by side with Shane Pierce. Now he'll edge ahead going into corner number 3.
I mean, Pierce just drives that car like he stole it, working the outside, but Chris Raby going to take the lead. Pierce back to the 2nd spot. Let's see if he can surge around the racetrack and find a groove that might allow him to contend with that 0-1.
Raby works it right along the guardrail, down off of corner number 4, putting a cushion between he and Shane Pierce in 2nd. And then you've got Gary Lindberg reeling in 2nd place. Shane Pierce, that car is fast here tonight again.
We've already got 10 laps in the books, 10 laps down, 20 laps to go in this 30-lap main event. Gary Lindberg on the attack, and Shane Pierce for the 2nd spot.
And here comes Lindberg down to the inside. He'll go wheel to wheel down the backstretch into corner number 3. Lindberg not able to pull ahead just yet. Now he'll get a run, but Pierce with a power move off the outside. He'll have the 2nd spot at the line.
I mean, you can't say enough about Shane Pierce. I mean, it looks like any moment he could fly off the end of that racetrack as hard as he's driving that car, but man, it's fun to watch. Gary Lindberg is taking over the spot, and Lindberg might have learned a little something there from the line Shane Pierce was running. He used it in turn 3 and 4.
And now he'll set his sights on leader Chris Raby as Raby begins to catch the tail end of the pack. So before too long, we're going to see some lap traffic here for the leaders. Raby, Lindberg, Pierce, and now Willard is right there with Pierce as they'll go down the backstretch side by side.
Chris Raby working the bottom of the track. That's the same line as the 72 of Podwinski, just ahead of him, so he'll have to come off the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. As he does, he'll realize there's not a lot of grip down there. 3 and 4 seems to be a little bitier up on the high side.
Here comes leader Chris Raby around some slower traffic as we're halfway through this one. 15 in, 15 to go for the 358 modifieds, and Lindberg continuing to close the gap on Raby.
Shane Pierce just about lost it there in turn 1. That allows Tyler Willard to pull away and puts him in the grips of Mike Bowman in the 71. Bowman gets around Pierce, but Pierce drives back around the exit of turn 4.
So Bowman will take the spot away from Pierce, as now Scott Wood will be the next to work on the back end of the 88. Leader Raby behind Neal in the 2, works it down into corner number 1, and Gary Lindberg has caught him.
Tom Neal running a different groove, so that's fine for Chris Raby. Shouldn't affect him too much. Ryan Page up ahead might be a bit more of a challenge as Gary Lindberg now drives to the bottom of Tom Neal trying to get through, but Raby builds himself a bit of breathing room. Well, that might not last long, Greg.
No, 12 laps left to go. 11 this time by for Chris Raby as they work to the inside of the page 43. Now they've got some clear racetrack before they catch the next car in front in Van Mill as they work it down in corner number 1. Raby still your leader over Lindberg. Then a good distance back now to Tyler Willard, who's feeling Mike Bowman catch him a little bit here.
in 1 and 2, Chris Raby had to slow down quite a bit around the bottom 4. He's able to get a better run off the exit, but watch this. He goes down into the corner, and right there, he's in no man's land in that 0-1. He just has to wait until he gets forward bite. Lindbergh rolling the center a lot faster.
Lindbergh trying to track down. 0-1 machine of Chris Raby here with now 9 laps left to settle this one. Good racing through the pack as now Brian Page will pull it off into the infield.
Chris Raby, a good, smooth, modified racer. He knows how to get it done. Gary Lindbergh, he will push the limits, lap in and lap out to find a groove to get around Raby. Lap traffic not going to be a big issue, I don't think. There's just a couple of cars and they're spread out. Problem for Tyler Willard, a flat right rear as he'll pull it to the infield.
Leaders working across the stripe another time. 7 laps left to go. Here on Nitro 54 Variety Burger Barn night. Night number 1 of the Fall Classic. Raby trying to pick up the win.
Raby looking good out in front, just ahead of him. Van Mill bobbles a little bit in that Too Cool machine. Raby able to squirt by on the inside. Now he'll drive away with the car between himself and Gary Lindbergh.
You know, I really thought Lindbergh had something for Chris Raby. He was coming on like gangbusters there. There he shuffles the 2 machine out of the way and trying to close the gap with 5 to go.
Raby with the Podwinski car about a half a straightaway ahead, and then I don't think he's going to catch the Luke Carlson-Todd Gordon battle ahead of him. JF Korovo as well in that 3-car tussle.
4 laps left to go for Chris Raby over Gary Lindbergh. Mike Bowman in the 3rd spot now. He's a good distance back, though, the top 2.
Yeah, it was going to take a yellow flag for Mike Bowman to be able to close in. Luke Carlson, after having those handling issues earlier on, he has recovered nicely to have a top 5 run. Runs in the 5th position as we've got 2 laps to go this time for Chris Raby. Gary Lindbergh trying to close in.
Down into corner number 1 they go. Raby's got the top spot. Lindbergh not able to reel him in as they work now. They've got the lap car between them. This time by it'll be the white flag for Chris Raby, and Lindbergh really gained a lot of ground there.
He sure did, rolling around the bottom of 3 and 4. Let's see what he can do in 1 and 2. Raby up off the bottom. Lindbergh flying around the inside of the racetrack.
Wow, he went from out of contention to right there, banging on the back Nerf bars. Off at corner number 3 and 4 they come. Lindbergh on the outside of the line. Raby gets the win.
What a race. Raby over Lindbergh coming home in the 3rd spot. It's Mike Bowman. 4th going to go to Scott Wood. Freddie Carlton 5th. Then it's Darren Peters, Austin Longwood, Shane Pierce, Tom Flanagan, and Steve Bernier. What a show for the modifieds. That was some fantastic racing, folks, here at Humberstone Speedway. Once again, tomorrow night at 6:30, we do it all again.
30 laps caution-free and a victory for the multi-time Mr. Dirt Sportsman champion, Chris Raby. Great run. And he had his hands full of Gary Lindbergh.
2 laps left to go. The lead that Chris Raby had, I thought, well, it's pretty much sewn up. I don't think I've ever seen anyone close the gap that fast. And right down into 1 and 2, he really had a legitimate shot. But then when they made the contact there, that was about it. Man, what a run for Gary Lindbergh to make it interesting.
Absolutely. As Chris Raby heads up onto the scales, Mike Miller, the tech inspector, having a look at the numbers.
Well, he gets pointed to victory lane. So we'll hear from Chris Raby here in a moment as he'll work his way around again. As Adam said, tomorrow 6:30 right here on G-Force. We'll be back at Humberstone Speedway, same divisions. 1 more added on to that with the mini stocks as well. Or join us here in person in Port Colborne, Ontario. Weather is supposed to be fantastic again. The grandstands open at 4:30. Pit gates open at 3:30. We'd love to have you here to watch the final dirt action in the Niagara Peninsula of 2021 as Chris Raby.
And Raby doesn't know where victory lane is.
Things have changed a little since last time you were here, Chris.
And this will make that drive from Alexandria a little more tolerable.
Formerly the pride of Napanee. Got to give a quick shout out to Wesley Shaw. He's been for the comments tonight, and a great promoter of everything that G-Force TV has done this year. And
yeah, he certainly does a great job as Chris Raby heading up there. He'll follow that official around the fence on the ATV.
Guys, I got Frank Wall from Quick. Frank, you're new to the dirt. What do you think of that?
Well, I know. I've watched many races on TV. You got to watch this show live, man. This is awesome. Awesome.
Still stuck at the fence with a big, huge grin on his face. Want to welcome Frank and Dave and everybody else from Quick here for their visit to Humberstone tonight. And welcome this guy, Chris Raby. We're told possibly his first win in 2 seasons. Gets it done here at Humberstone in the Fall Classic. And we'll get him out and have a quick word with him here down in Humberstone Victory Lane. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Don't forget, we're back at it tomorrow at 6:30, as the guys have mentioned all night here. And we're going to do it again. Just add the mini stocks in. Duel on the dirt for mini stock, street stock as well tomorrow. And we'll get Chris out. Long drive down here from Eastern Ontario tonight. Look here now, Humberstone. How about a big welcome for Chris Raby as he gets it done here tonight? Chris, welcome back to Humberstone Speedway. Been a while since you've been here when you were defending the Sportsman Championship, but let's talk about your drive tonight. Came in and took care of the regulars. Going to make your drive worthwhile.
Yeah, it's certainly a long trip for us, but just happy to have a good starting spot tonight, and a car obviously just good enough there. I'm assuming I felt Gary there on the last lap, so I thought I was cooking it a little bit deep into one, and that's probably where he was making his ground. But all in all, a great run for our team, and happy to get this first one on the Friday. Solid
drive. We've been talking about track conditions here a lot throughout the night. Obviously, in a great spot for you tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for some reason, my driving style in this place just seemed to click. I think it's been 12 years or so since we've been here, but we absolutely love coming, and a great facility to run at.
Good luck tomorrow night, Chris.
All right, thanks a lot.
Chris Raby gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for your modified feature winner tonight? We'll turn up to Greg and Adam to take us home.
Yeah, thanks, Clint. That will wrap up a great first night here of the Fall Classic at Humberstone Speedway. We'll do it again tomorrow night, 6:30, both here on G-Force TV. Or please, why don't you come on out, join us here at the Speedway, Adam. Great crowd tonight, but there is plenty of room for more.
You won't be disappointed. Come out to this event. Come out to the track. The lighting is great. The surface is phenomenal. And it's one of the last chances you're going to have to catch any dirt racing in the province of Ontario, so I strongly recommend it.
So that will wrap things up on behalf of all our crew, all our camera crew, our production crew, and on behalf of our co-announcers here tonight, Fran Bushard, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside, Adam Ross on the tower. I'm Greg Kellman saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow night here on G-Force TV. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.